Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, the John Campea Show, coming from right here on my YouTube channel. I'm, of course, your host, John Campea, and it is an awesome honor and privilege, as it is every day, to have you, our international friends, gather around as we talk about our favorite things in the world, movies, movie news, TV, and streaming. And it's one of the biggest days on the movie year calendar. It's Oscar nomination day. We're going to be talking about that, of course, at length. And I'm not alone. We got, by the way, a lot of other stuff to talk about here today, too. And I'm not alone. Sitting over here, 7-time Oscar-nominated filmmaker Robert Meyer Burnett. Robert, how you doing today, sir?
In my mind. I have never been nominated for an Oscar. But you know what, John?
You do have Saturn.
I have Saturn.
You have a Saturn one.
Well, yeah, it's true. I have Saturn. That's true. And you know what? Sometimes the Saturn's better than an Oscar.
All the time.
All the time. There you go.
When it's on Robert Meyer Burnett's shelf.
It's true. I have to tell you, John, like you, I love the Oscars. I've loved them since I was a little kid. And no matter what, I always get a little giddy on today's day. Today's a day like no other day. Why is this day different from all other days? Not because we eat unleavened bread, but because the Oscar nominations come out.
Oscar nominations came out. Sitting right beside him, I know he was up at 5 a.m. watching the nominations. Ray Orris here.
Oscars is also my day, too. Game day.
That's right. And it's Boba Fett day. Boba Fett
Even
finale
better.
day. Game day as well. Sitting right beside him is the luckiest person in the world when it comes to cars. Oh, there's stories to be told.
Oh.
But Chris Carr is here, ladies and gentlemen. A frazzled Chris Carr.
My full name is Christine. Am I a cursed car? Am I a demonic entity in a car? Is that why I can't get these vehicles to work?
There's some problems. Stories for another time. And I'm, of course, your host, John Campea, and it is great to have you guys here today. Thank you for joining us. By the way, going to let you guys know there's a little bit of housekeeping to be done here. First of all, very excited about this. Today is the first meeting of Movie Club. Movie Club, finally. We've been talking about it for years. Finally doing our first meeting of Movie Club. And, of course, the first movie we're talking about in Movie Club is not Fight Club, but rather Gladiator. So today at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, come on back. Me, Rob, and Ray are going to be talking about the movie Gladiator, and it's an open club. So you guys are going to be putting in your thoughts, opinions, theories, all that kind of stuff as well. It's just like an open spoiler discussion for the new movies that come out, except for going back and revisiting some of our favorite ones. So if you like Gladiator, if you want to have some movie chat, come on back at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time today and join us for Movie Club. Also want to let you know there's going to be a new episode of Mailbag that comes out later tonight. Keep you guys' eyes open for that. And, of course, if you need your daily fix of the John Campea Show, but you can't be in front of a YouTube video, maybe you're commuting or you're jogging or at work, good news, there is the audio-only version of the show that we call the John Campea Show podcast. It is available wherever you get your podcast. So go to your favorite podcasting app of choice, search for the John Campea Show, and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it. And all of us here, thank you guys already who have already subscribed to the John Campea Show. All right. With that down, we got a lot of things to get to here. So we got a few things off the top. And our first thing off the top is this. As many of you guys know, my number one, by far, most anticipated movie of the year. I mean, there's a lot of movies I'm looking forward to. Cyrano, The Northman, Doctor Strange, Thor, Love and Thunder. But by far, my number one most anticipated movie this year is The Batman. The Batman. We've seen some clips. We've seen some trailers. We've heard some music scores. Super excited. Coming out on March 4th. Well, guess what? A bunch of you guys are going to be able to see it earlier than that because they announced that they are doing special advanced screening of The Batman on not March 4th, but on March 1st. Tuesday, March 1st. It's being done by Imax, and the tickets are now on sale. Now, normally I would tell you to wait until the John Campea Show's over, but if you can open another browser and you want to find tickets, I would suggest going to try to get your tickets right now because it's playing in a lot of locations. Let me see if I can bring up a list of the locations here. So we've got, look at all these cities that's playing. Well, there's the Los Angeles one. Wait a second. Let me bring up more than Los Angeles. Why can't I get more than Los Angeles? Anyway, there's a ton of cities. I unfortunately only have the LA cities here, but there's actually, forget these three. There was like 40 cities listed, right? So here's what I would suggest. Go to your local movie theater, find the local IMAX closest to you. or at least in your biggest city. Go on their ticket purchasing website or go on Fandango. I know Fandango is selling tickets as well. Search for it and see if you can get it. Because I know I jumped on there and I got us 6 tickets to go see. So this crew here, plus Ann, plus one other person, we'll find out who, we're going to go see the Batman at the AMC Burbank 16, kind of for 7 years was like my home movie theater, on Tuesday, March the 1st. So it is there. And listen, I'll tell you what this tells me. By the way, anybody want to take a guess how much the tickets were? Anybody want to take a guess?
$25.
30.
Per ticket?
$30 per
Does
ticket.
that mean we get swag? Do we get like official popcorn?
I should have
buckets?
Jennifer Garner giving me a massage while I'm watching the movie for $30 a ticket.
That would be distracting.
It would be distracting. But, I mean, it is $30 a ticket. And you know what? I didn't even blink. It's the Batman, man. It's the Batman.
You're paying. It's only $10 an hour.
It's only $10 an hour to watch the Batman. So I went ahead and I bought those. It depends on, like somebody is saying in my movie ticket was $28. Yeah, I'm sure it has something to do with that. It's LA, it's an IMAX thing, and it's a special event. So you know what? $30 to see it a few days early. I'm okay with it.
But how cool is it that we're seeing Batman at the AMC 16, which has a giant statue of
bronze
Batman
statue
in front of the theater?
For those of you who don't know, right in AMC Town Center there's right in front of the AMC Burbank 16, there is a giant bronze Batman statue that they only put up like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And it's awesome. So it does make it oddly appropriate that Batman, that's where we're going to be going to see it. So that comes out there. So you can watch our open or out of the theater reaction to Batman on Tuesday the 1st. That's provided we don't go to any earlier press screens, whatever. But I'll tell you what, guys, one of the things that excites me about this, besides the fact that we're going to get to go see this movie that early, is the fact that they've got to have some belief in this movie. I mean, if they're going to let thousands of people see this movie 3 days before opening weekend.
Oh, yeah.
When they know bad word of mouth could kill the opening weekend on this. Look, we know Warner Brothers studios sometimes have had a lot of belief in films that we as fans generally didn't end up thinking was all that good, but I at least want to see that they're confident in it. And for me, seeing them do this is not just exciting that we get to see it this early, it's exciting seeing Warner Brothers doesn't seem to be worried about bad word of mouth. They don't seem to be worried about that. And that to me is exciting. Rob, you're the first one to let me know about this screening because I got a text from you yesterday afternoon about the fact that they're doing these fan screenings. First of all, you looking forward to go seeing this thing early? But secondly, what does it tell you that they're doing these early screenings?
Well, come on.
Come on.
Yes, I am incredibly excited to go see this movie. To me, they're just coming out of the gate with a new epic Batman film, 3 hours. It's going to blow us all away, I would imagine. It looks incredible. I can't wait to see it. Am I excited? I'm totally excited. But I think, like you said, this is a huge vote of confidence from the studio. I mean, any criticisms people are going to level at this movie, well, Rob, it's 3 hours long. I mean, none of that matters. It's all going to be, as you always say, John, winning changes everything.
Winning cures everything.
Winning cures everything.
Everything.
I think when we walk out of that theater, like everybody who's going to walk out of the theater, since we paid for the tickets, there's no embargo.
Nope.
We can say whatever we want. And I would say that, as long as... No, I'm not going to make that joke. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. It was off color. Just put it that way. I can't wait to see this movie. It was little body, little.
I expect more from you, Robert.
I know.
Goodness.
Well, hence I didn't say it.
Yeah.
But it had something to do with blowing my pants off. But I won't.
Okay. Well.
We have an idea where that was going.
Yeah.
You're talking about there would be a giant fan in the
That's how
auditorium.
excited I'm very excited. I think that, like you, this film looks to be truly a superhero film of epic proportions that doesn't rely on the culmination of 22 other movies.
Yeah.
This is something I expect something Godfather level, honestly.
Listen, I'll tell you what, and I know I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm not saying this movie is going to be better than The Dark Knight. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay? Dark Knight, not to me, but to a lot of people, is considered to be like the best comic book movie of all. I think it's in the top 3. I am not saying, let me say that clearly, that it's going to be better than Dark Knight. It looks better than The Dark Knight. I'm telling you right now, to me, it looks better than The Dark Knight. Again, I'm not expecting it to be as good as The Dark Knight. I'm not expecting it to be better than The Dark Knight. I just want it to be great. It doesn't have to be as good as The Dark Knight. But I'm telling you from the outside looking in, just looking at the marketing, what's coming together, for me, it looks better than The Dark Knight to me.
I would posit that The Dark Knight is a terrific film, but it doesn't have a great third act. The end of that movie with the 2 ferry boats and all that.
Yeah.
I like the third act. I don't think it's the strongest third act,
But it suddenly takes it's suddenly no longer about the conflict between Joker and Batman. It's now it's making some wider point about humanity, whether they and that's fine. I like it, but I do think it's not necessarily as focused as it could be.
Well, I will say this. I did always find it ridiculous that the 2 boats, there's a parent with their child. You're telling me any parent with a child would not hit a button to blow up a boat full of hell. They wouldn't hit a button to blow up a boat full of nuns to save their own child. Of course they would. But other than that, I still thought that.
No, I love I love
good.
the movie. I love the performance of Heath Ledger. I love most of that film, but there is room for improvement. And if the Batman has a coherent story that is Godfather or Goodfellas level of awesome,
we'll see. Hey, Chris. You got my text this morning that we're going to go see Batman. Well, first of all, where's your anticipation level like right now? And what do you think about them doing this early screening for not just 100 people, but this is going to be thousands of people across the country get to see this early. What does that tell you?
If doing the show couldn't keep me in a good enough mood while being pulled over by the popo, getting that text just made it even better, where I was like, this is fine. This is fine. I'm super excited about this. I'm really, really pumped. I love that the chat is already talking about how Elizabeth and Logan are going to have to fight for that last ticket. So we got to figure out how they're going to duke it out for that. But
well, it's really down to, it's my friend Ryan and Aaron.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's true. But Aaron and Ryan, can they both make it through the 3-hour movie?
Well,
We got
Aaron's
bladders.
definitely going to need a bathroom.
You know what? She's gonna go. She's just gonna go in the other half. The next half.
You guys will tag out.
I think I'll do the last half, and she can do the first half.
There we go. But yeah, I'm very excited about this. And we've talked about it so many times on the show. Robert Pattinson is a phenomenal actor, and I am really excited to see what he does as the Cape Crusader. I think this is going to be exciting. And Zoe Kravitz, come on.
She looks great.
This is going to be great, I think. I've got very high hopes.
Ray,
I hopes.
I got a cake because I know. When I told Ann this morning, I got the 6 tickets. She goes, "One of those for Ray?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, you think he can make it? I don't know.
He made it through Moonfall.
Yeah, he made it through.
That's part of the excitement.
Ray,
right
you
there.
got your ticket now.
Will
for
he
a
make it
3-hour
through the movie?
True.
What are
Will
you
he
thinking
make
about
it?
this? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Sit next to me. I'll bring
curious.
a cattle prod.
I mean,
Cattle prod.
we get to see it before the reactions of the critics.
Yep.
Right? So yeah, we'll see.
Well, I mean, depending on when the press screenings are, we don't know. Whatever. I'm now live outside of LA, and I don't respond to Warner Brothers emails anymore, so I don't know when that's going to be. But we will have to see. Question is for you guys: have you had a chance to go and get some tickets for some Batman goodness on March the 1st? If so, yay. If not, what was your experience like? Could you just not get it because it wasn't playing near you, or were your tickets already sold out? How are you guys feeling about it? Jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's do another off the top here, shall we? And that is this. One of the big movie stories coming out of 2021, besides all the pandemic stuff and things like that, and the smash success of Spider-Man No Way Home and a lot of others, was the complete backstabbing betrayal of Warner Brothers to their filmmakers by like a thief, sneaky little cowardly sniveling bastards in the night, put out some press release without telling their filmmakers or their partners at all. All of our 2021 movies are going to be put on HBO Max day and date. To which all of their filmmakers said, what? You never told, what? Never had a single conversation with their filmmakers, never had a single conversation with their financial partners, just decided to be sniveling little cowards in the night and try to boost up their HBO Max subscriptions. HBO Max, which I love, by the way.
Yeah.
But trying to bump up their HBO Max subscriptions because they were trailing so far behind Disney. That was one of the big stories. And there was certainly a lot of drama that came out of that. Well, the drama's not over because apparently company, one of the financial entities behind The Matrix Resurrections, is now suing Warner Brothers and Warner Media for the fact that they put Matrix Resurrections up on HBO Max on the same day it was in theaters, claiming that you cost us tens of millions of dollars by doing that. This comes to us from the folks over at The Verge, who write the following. Another major studio is facing a lawsuit over the day and date releases of a highly anticipated title. Village Roadshow Films, who makes some great stuff, by the way, which co-produced The Matrix Resurrections with Warner Brothers, is suing Warner Media for releasing the film on HBO Max the same day it debuted in theaters. The lawsuit filed today in Los Angeles Superior Court alleges that Warner Media rushed the release of Matrix Resurrections from 2022 to 2021 so that the film could debut as a part of an internally coded initiative known as Project Popcorn. The release model would trade box office revenue for streaming subscriptions, depriving partners of revenue tied to the performance of the film. Throughout 2021, Warner Media opted to release its full slate of films simultaneously on HBO Max the same day they premiered in theaters as a part of its pandemic strategy. Warner Brothers has since returned to exclusive theatrical commitments in 2022. The suit characterizes Project Popcorn as Warner Media's clandestine plan to materially reduce box office and correlated ancillary revenue generated from tentpole films that Village Roadshow and others would be entitled to receive in exchange for driving subscription revenue for their new HBO Max. So the basic thing is this. Village Roadshow is saying, we put up money to make this movie, and we were to get a certain percentage of the box office. And you, without talking to us, decided you were going to release it day and date on HBO Max, therefore stealing money out of our pockets. Now look, I've got my own philosophy and feelings about the whole Warner strategy of putting movies out day and date on HBO. A strategy which, by the way, failed spectacularly. Completely crippled them, and it failed spectacularly. But the part that really makes me shake my head, guys, is the part about screwing over your own talent and screwing over your own financial partners. Remember, Legendary Pictures was rattling the sabers. We're going to take you guys to court over this. You effed us. And that lawsuit never happened because Warner Brothers very quietly behind the scenes said, here, take all the money.
Yeah.
But this whole notion, again, is coming back to bite them in the ass again. You screwed over another one of your partners. I just don't understand, even if you wanted to do this strategy, why not a month in advance, get on the phone, call all your relevant partners, and let them know in advance so they can prepare for it. And I'll tell you why they didn't do it. Because of the age-old adage. It is easier to ask forgiveness than it is for permission. And that's why they did it. And now they're getting sued again. So I know, Rob, you hear about this. What are your thoughts?
Dude, I called up Village Roadshow. I'd like to just give you a little bit of history with Village Roadshow and Warner Brothers. Goes all the way back to 1989 with Nicole Kidman's breakout movie Dead Calm. Village Roadshow co-produced that with Warner Brothers. If you look at their list of things they've done with Warner Brothers, analyze this: The Matrix, Deep Blue Sea, Three Kings, Space Cowboy, Exit Wounds, Swordfish, Training Day, all three Ocean's 11 movies. 4, actually. The Majestic, The Adventures of Pluto Nash, not so good. Eight-Legged Freaks, Mystic River, Taking Lives, Constantine, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Happy Feet. This list of movies is huge. I Am Legend. It's huge. It's absolutely huge.
So they've had a pretty successful partnership.
A hugely successful partnership. And yet, when you remember, that was a new regime that came into Warner Brothers. Jason Kilar and all of his boys thinking they were going to do something great. You know, Hollywood is a business that's built on relationships, long-standing relationships. And all the people that always think they can come in and disrupt things, it never works. And like you said, this was not a question of whether you beg for forgiveness. This was, they effed over one of their long-standing co-production partnership relationships. It was really, Legendary was stupid, but this was a lot longer. This relationship was on for almost 2 decades longer. And they basically said, F you. That doesn't fly. That doesn't fly in any business.
Yeah, and again, you know how we talk about winning cures everything? Losing, what's the word I'm looking for making a problem worse? Losing makes everything worse.
Yeah, there we go.
Because I tell you what, if The Matrix Reloaded had made $900 million at the box office, maybe cooler heads would have prevailed. But when a movie flops, it just makes the losing part emphasized even more. And The Matrix Resurrections obviously didn't have a lot of success, but look, Village Roadshow is saying, look, we're not saying we would have made $1 billion in the box office, but we would have gotten more, and you stole that from us. So you could serve yourselves.
Even if it was
really
25 million or 50 million.
Yeah,
it's still money.
In the millions.
Yeah.
It's in the millions of dollars. So I don't know, Chris, as a working professional in the industry and stuff like that, were you surprised to hear about this lawsuit, especially now since it's been a year since it happened? This is coming out now. I guess it's not been that long since Matrix itself came out. So they hadn't, you know what? I take that back. The Village wouldn't really have standing to file a complaint until they suffered losses, and they had to wait until after the Matrix. Okay, so that makes
That's
more
true.
sense to me. But what's your take on this whole thing?
I mean, it's just wild to see these things continuing to happen, though, because it is just bad business to screw over your partners like this. And that's what I don't understand. Yes, of course, it is so much easier for us to ask for forgiveness instead of permission, right? But that's also when we do something a little sneaky that we think that's going to have a good payoff. Not something we repeat over and over again that absolutely screws over the people that we're in bed with in a business sense. Why would you want to keep working with these folks if this is how they treat their business partners?
And not only that, but the regimes at Warner Brothers have changed over a lot, whereas Village Roadshow has been financing Warner Brothers movies since the 80s.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see now, because they're about to have another regime change. The folks over at Discovery Zaslav is about to take over with Discovery. And he's going to be the new sheriff in town and running things. And it's going to be interesting to see how he makes his first order of business fixing those relationships, mending those relationships.
But I think he places a lot more value on those relationships.
He does. He does. When you look at, because after they announced that they were taking over Warner Brothers, we did some looking into how he built that empire there. And he puts relationships above everything. Everybody follows him because he nurtures those relationships. He treats everybody fairly. It's going to be interesting to see. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Matrix Resurrection is about to get sued for the money it never made. Just surprising to hear about that. Whatever your thoughts are, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's do one more off the top here, shall we? And that last one is this. There's a lot of films coming that we're looking forward to. We were just talking about the Batman, the Northman, Cyrano, Thor, tons of movies. But one of them that we are absolutely all looking forward to is Lightyear. A strange concept for a film when they first introduced it. So wait a minute. So it's Buzz Lightyear, but it's not Buzz Lightyear that we know. It's the real Buzz Lightyear. Strange idea that we all kind of went, okay. But then they dropped the first teaser for it, and we were like, okay, this looks kind of fun and this looks good. Today they dropped a 2-minute trailer. And this time they gave us a little bit of the story. We got to actually hear Chris Evans talk in sentences as Buzz Lightyear. And we got more of the context. And I love it. I love this trailer. It's so great. So basically they set it up where the basic premise of the movie is this. Buzz and I guess a whole group of Star Command, a colony, if you will, have been marooned on a distant planet for a year. So they've survived, they've built walls for themselves, and they've been building a ship to try to get themselves
And aliens
home.
attack them,
And
the indigenous aliens.
By the way, the tentacles things is hilarious. And they're trying to get home, and at some point, he's in his galactic travels, he's going to run across Zurg and all that kind of stuff. That looks awesome. And I'll tell you what, I loved it. They reused that Starman piece of music for it again, which was wonderful. I'll tell you what, the cat, I'm not a cat person. All right. I'm not a cat person. Right. And when somebody says to me, I have a cat, I ask, how long have you had this problem? So like cats are stupid and dumb. So they're great for alligator food, I suppose.
Wow, dude.
Bro.
You need to own a cat.
I'm a dog guy. I just got there. Aaron Cummings is watching this and seething at me right now.
We have both.
I said that specifically for. Do you? I didn't know you had cats.
We have
I
two
know
dogs.
Aaron has like 5 cats.
We have 2 dogs and a cat.
I didn't know that.
Skippy John Jones.
And how long have you had this problem?
I grew up with cats.
Not a cat guy. So anyway, I saw the cat in an earlier kind of piece of art, and I'm like, yeah, little cat. I thought the cat in it was hilarious. The little robot cat, I thought it was great. And I especially thought it was hilarious at the end. He goes, what kind of sleep sounds would you like? Because I have that discussion with myself every night. I'm like, am I going to put on a rainforest sounds? Are I going to put on city traffic sounds? Or just white noise? And so I laughed a lot at that myself. I thought that was great. So I love the cat. John Campea, quote that. I love the cat. John Campea, 2022. So yeah, everything about this looks charming and delightful and wonderful to me. Chris, you had a chance to see this trailer this morning.
Yeah.
How did you think about it?
Oh, I'm all warm and fuzzy about this one. I think this is going to be adorable because originally I wasn't super into this because we already had the 2000 cartoon that gave us the real adventures of Buzz Lightyear. And it was super, super fun. I loved that cartoon show. But this looks promising. Socks the android cat looks very fun. We got a little glimpse of who seems to be evil Emperor Zurg. I think it could be really cool.
Yeah, I think so. Rob, what about you? You had a chance to see it. What did you think about it?
It looks like a delightful family film, but it also looks like it could be a pretty compelling science fiction movie as well. And that there's a lot going on there. When they said that they'd been stranded on a planet for a year, I'm like, oh, okay, that's an interesting dilemma. How did that happen?
And by the way, it could be longer than a year, but they've just been working on this project to get home for a year.
I mean, I love that. I mean, give me stranded colonists on a faraway, far-flung planet. I'm in. I'll watch anything that takes place in space, is about space. If they mention space, I'll watch it.
But you bring up a good point about the neat thing about this is that it becomes a hyphenate, because if they just go with, let's do cute and adorable Buzz Lightyear, but it looks like they're trying to make a legitimately good sci-fi film. Yeah. At the same time.
Yeah.
And I think that was a great observation about that, because everything from the alien worlds, space travel, that great music with it, but then the Zurg conflict. And so is this kind of like an origin of the Zurg conflict? That's what it kind of looked like. Are they setting up a franchise here? Can they do a franchise
I mean, if
here?
they encroached on an alien race's planetary system, is this like Cestus 3 in Star Trek? When the Gorns attack? You never know.
The Gorns.
You never know.
Am I making the right sound?
I told you I wasn't going to mention it, but I had to get it in there.
You found a way.
I did it live.
I haven't watched
What are you going to do?
Pixar film since Wall-E.
You haven't watched a Pixar movie since Wall-E?
Really?
For some reason, I just fell out of them for some reason. I don't know why.
What
But
did
this
that
one
robot
looks
do?
good. This one I might have to see.
So you've never
Wall-E
seen
was-
Coco?
No, I haven't seen
Oh my
it.
God, you would love
dude.
Coco, Ray.
It's for some reason like I just fell out of watching these
Right.
Pixar films. I don't know why. Maybe horrible relationships ended during the Pixar days where I was watching them. But I will watch this one. It looks good.
Chef Pleasures, who hurt you?
Who
Oh,
hurt you?
man.
Wally's a legit
Oh.
good science fiction film, though.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was
Wall-E is
Wall-E.
another one.
It's
that-
another.
Wall-E's a
yeah.
great film. I actually think
and
that's
surprisingly
the best.
accurate about the state of the human race.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, guys, question is for you. Have you had a chance to watch the new trailer for Lightyear? Did you like it? Did you not? Maybe you thought it was silly. I thought it was wonderful. Hell, I even loved the cat. What do you guys think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. By the way, the cat owners, you can address your complaints to simply john@thejohncampeashow.com, and I will be willing to ignore your emails. Anyway, with that down, guys, let's take a second, pay some bills here, and hear from the sponsor of today's episode of the John Campea Show, the great folks over at Manscaped. Hey, guys, we want to take just a second and thank the sponsor of today's video, Manscaped. Now, listen, guys, you know, it is not the 1970s anymore. It is not cool for a man just to let his balls look like the deepest, darkest jungles anymore. You want to keep them trimmed. You want to keep them tidy. And there's nothing I entrust more to the well-being of Dr. Jack Hammer and the amazing Fantastical than the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0. This thing trims like a finely tuned machine for my finely tuned area. But wait, there's more. Because today I'm excited to let you guys know about Manscaped launching their new Ultra Premium Collection. Believe it or not, it's not for your not-so-private parts. I am talking about a leveled-up overall hygiene routine with your favorite manly scents. Now, in the special Ultra Premium Collection, we're talking about premium Manscaped deodorant. Don't just take care of your balls. Got to take care of them armpits too, guys. A hydrating body spray. Listen, you got tattoos or issues with any dry skin? Well, this spray-on lotion extraction is designed to keep your skin feeling moisturized, smooth, and dudes smelling fresh. And you guys have heard me talk about the body wash. This body wash was a revelation to me. I use it every freaking day. They've also got a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, plus a free gift, a 3-pack set of lip balm for guys who are taking care of their lips. So here's what you need to do. Get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code Campea, Campea, at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code Campea at manscaped.com. The power of attraction is now in a bottle, thanks to our friends at Manscaped. And thank you to the good folks over at Manscaped for making this episode of the John Campea Show possible. Remember, guys, if you go over and use them, and all guys should, make sure you use that promo code Campea. And again, thank you to Manscaped for making today's episode of the John Campea Show a reality. All right, guys. With that down, let's now move on to our main topics here today, shall we? And how do we select our main topics here in the John Campea Show? Well, it's really rather simple. You see, you guys come up with them. Whenever you come across a big topic, issue, or story that you guys feel we need to cover as a main topic here on the show, just go anytime 24/7 over to www.thejohncampeashow.com/contact. Once you guys get there, you're going to see a form. Fill it out with your topic or question. It's absolutely free. Hit submit, and then maybe, just maybe, you might see your submission featured as a main topic here on the John Campea Show. With that down, Chris, what is our first main topic today?
Our first topic is so cute, and I love it. Eric Fimmel writes in, greetings and salutations, John, Rob, Ray, and Chris. Today, Tuesday, is the 90th birthday of the greatest of all time, John Williams. It's crazy because even if you take away his iconic work on Star Wars, without it, he'd still be the greatest of all time by miles. What to you are the best contributions Williams has made to movie music? Thanks.
All right. And you know what? It's really interesting what you said there, Eric. Because every once in a while, I'll talk a lot about Tom Brady. But they're like, I remember ESPN did this thing as Tom Brady would make it into the Hall of Fame twice. If you took the first half of his career, that's a Hall of Fame career. If you took the second half of his career, it's still a Hall of Fame career. Some people even argue that he could make the Hall of Fame 3 times if you took 3 different eras of his career. John Williams, when you think of John Williams, obviously, for most people, the first thing that comes to mind is the iconic music for Star Wars. The Imperial March, the main Star Wars fanfare theme, the Leia's music, all that kind of stuff. Duel of the frickin' Fates, the best thing to come out of the prequels. But if you take Star Wars away, he's still the greatest of all time. Not even by a little, by a lot. You take out the most iconic of his work, he is still the greatest to ever do it by miles. And that is a crazy, crazy accomplishment, because when you think of we talked about this a lot. John Williams with this, I lost count. I can't remember. How many Academy Award nominations does he have? It's in the 20s or 30s, I think, maybe 19. I can't remember how many. He's got 5 Academy Awards, all that kind of stuff. And when you think of movie music that you hum or whistle or think about, 9 times out of 10 is a John Williams score.
Well, how about just one director? Let's take Star Wars out of it. If you just had one director and take the movies that he scored for Steven Spielberg.
It's a Hall of Fame career already.
He has
Jaws,
52 Oscar
Raiders,
nominations.
Schindler's List, Jurassic Park.
We say, how many?
52 noms.
52. Sorry, I was thinking of Meryl Streep nominations, I think. Yeah. 50.
Sorry, Rob, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, not at all. But I mean, just Spielberg alone, if he only scored Steven Spielberg movies.
He would be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. But you think about, I just watched recently with Anne that anniversary Return to Hogwarts thing.
Yeah.
John Williams. Jurassic World's coming out. Na, 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 na. Indiana Jones. Dun, 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 dun. Superman. Bum, 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 bum.
Arguably
It's
one
all
of the
him.
great movie scores. That score rivals his score for Star Wars. The Superman the movie score
It's
does.
great.
Beautiful.
Actually, we go to the John Williams concert every year at the Hollywood Bowl. Every year he'll play 3 or 4 pieces from Star Wars and everybody goes nuts. But only about every 2 or 3 years does he do the Superman theme. Only like every 2. But what if not the Imperial March? Then the biggest pop that he gets is whenever that lone horn, bum, 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 then the audience goes crazy. Goes crazy.
Well, I mean, there's other scores. When I started listening to film scores, his score for Jaws 2 is amazing.
Again, completely all-time iconic music.
For Brian De Palma's The Fury, one of my favorite horror scores. His score for Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Dun 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 dun. 5 notes. But the whole opening, that whole it's incredible. His score for Dracula. His score for Spielberg's 1941 is an incredible score.
He has been nominated for Academy Awards, I believe, in 4 different decades, which is ridiculous, but he's not an honorary nominee. You go down onto his IMDb and you go down through the list, and it's like iconic, memorable score after iconic, memorable score after iconic, memorable score. It's him. And here's the crazy thing. We keep expecting, like Ann and I make sure every year we absolutely have to go to the John Williams concert, because every year for the last 6 years, we thought this could be his last. Not because we think he's going to die, but he's got to retire at some point. But he is still rolling and going. This comes from the folks over at Variety who write this. John Williams turns 90 years old today, ladies and gentlemen. Happy birthday to John Williams. And the world's most famous film composer shows no signs of slowing down. The 5-time Oscar winner, creator of many of the most well-known movie themes of all time, everything from Jaws to Star Wars to E.T. Forgot we didn't even mention E.T. Yeah. Harry Potter is finishing work on 2 new film scores right now, COVID permitting, and he plans to conduct concerts at least 5 orchestras between April and November, and he's got a new album coming out. This is a 90-year-old man.
It's unbelievable.
Dude, I'm not 50. And I don't want to go to the store because my knee hurts. Like this guy's 90. This guy's 90 years old, and he is still super active and being the best in the world at it, which is freaking. So can we just happy birthday to John Williams, the all-time GOAT by miles. Anyway, Rob, you look back on the career now. He turns 90. What stands out to you most when you think about John Williams?
Well, first of all, I'm trying to call this up. There's so much to look at. I'm like, I can't even get to this while we're live. I just think about when I started listening to film scores. It was because of Star Wars, but there were 2 guys, Jerry Goldsmith and John Williams, that I was listening to. But if you think about his output just from 1975 to 1979, 4 years. You're looking at Jaws, and this is not all of them. Jaws, Star Wars, Superman, like I said, The Fury, Spielberg's 1941, John Badham's Dracula. That's in 4 years. And all of those scores are incredibly iconic. Then you go the next 2 years, you've got Empire Strikes Back and Raiders. I mean, if you look at it, and by the way, the original TV theme dun, 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 for Lost in Space,
right?
Johnny Williams, but when he was Johnny Williams, he did that too.
When he was just a young scamp writing music.
If you look at and the stuff he did, go back to the 60s. I mean, the guy's career is unbelievable.
Chris, you're looking at this. You see that he's 90 years old right now. What do you think about when you think about John Williams, and what of his scores stands out to you, and what does it mean to you?
Oh my gosh, I love his music so much. Jurassic Park is honestly the first thing I think about because that was such an important film to me as a kid. Because you're young. Because I'm young.
You're not old like me.
just old in mind and spirit, Rob. That's all I got going on. Just cynical
old
otherwise.
Soul.
That's a nicer way to put it. But Jurassic Park is probably the one. All the Harry Potter movies were obviously really, really big for me too. And then in recent memory, the Tintin score. Tintin, the
Tintin score was great.
Underrated movie, underrated music. It's a great, great film. And it just makes it so fun. Listening to his music, you want to go on that adventure with Tintin. You want to go chase after Snowy. He's amazing. He's incredible. Happy birthday, sir.
And again, when you go back and you think about the magic of the movies and the things, the music of it permeates and it just sticks with you.
How about something that's being played every single day right now? The NBC Olympics theme.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. He actually, at his last concert, he broke that out. And they played this big montage of great Olympic moments over the years, and they played his Olympic theme and all. Even when one of the great moments, actually at one of Williams's concerts, this was a couple of years ago, he brought Kobe Bryant out on stage. This was about a year before he died. And he had done that Dear Basketball, the short film that won him an Academy Award.
Yeah.
And John Williams composed the music to it. And John Williams brought out Kobe Bryant
I was at that show. I was at that
Were you
concert.
at that, John
Yeah.
Williams? You were
Yes,
there,
I
too.
was.
So he comes out and they play the short film while Kobe narrates it personally and Williams conducts the orchestra. And it was one of the cool,
That's
now,
beautiful.
my favorite, coolest moment ever, besides Julie Andrews coming out and all that, they've always had big guests, but my favorite moment ever at a John Williams concert was when the surprise guest was Steven Spielberg. And I freaked out and thought I was going to piss myself. And Steven Spielberg comes out and he talks about how, you guys want to know like just how great John Williams is? He goes, I brought with me the opening 7 minutes or whatever it is of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. When young Indiana Jones gets the hat and the whip and, you know, it's young River Phoenix. We're going to play that entire 7 minutes now without John Williams' score. Let's go. And they play the entire opening 7 minutes and it just doesn't even feel like it has any life to it.
Mm-hmm.
Even as he's, you know, jumping in between the train cars and all that kind of stuff, it just feels weird. And then he goes, okay, now let's do it again after that full 7 minutes. This time we're going to have Johnny play along with it. And then they played it again. And like, it brings all the magic to it and all that. It reminds me of, there's a YouTube video out there of the Medal Awards ceremony at the end of the original Star Wars without John Williams music. And it's just this empty hall. And you see a guy cough in the background as Luke and Chewie, who
I
doesn't
think
get
that's
a
the
medal.
Oral
Doesn't get a
Nuts who
medal.
made that video.
That was them. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That was awesome. But again, the magic of John Williams. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about when you think of the GOAT, John Williams? Happy birthday, turning 90, still going strong. What's your favorite music score of his? Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to main topic number 2. Chris, what is our second main topic today?
This is from Kyle. Hey, John. All right, gang. It is finale game day for Book
Game
of
day?
Mando.
Game day?
2.5. What big surprises do you expect to get? Han, Kenobi tie-in, set up for Ahsoka with possibly Sabine or Thrawn and Ezra? Maybe something else?
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in. And yeah, it has snuck up on us because these seasons are so damn short. Short seasons with short episodes. But it's here. The finale of the Book of Boba Fett. Now, the last 2 episodes have been very exciting for a lot of people. Hasn't really been a Boba Fett show the last couple of episodes, but it's still called the Book of Boba Fett, and we're heading into the finale. Now, unfortunately, the last 2 episodes just feel like they have kind of set up the show. Like now the show is ready to start. But not so much. The show is ending tonight, and we're going to see where we go. What do we expect from the Book of Boba Fett tonight? Well, I think the first thing I'd want to mention is what I feel about the show so far. As we're heading into the finale, how am I feeling about the show so far? Overall, still a little disappointed. Not massively disappointed. The last 2 episodes have been a lot of fun. And even in the first 4 episodes, I feel like there's been some good moments. There's been some decent episodes. I guess right now, though, it has not lived up to the expectations we had. But that can all change with the final episode. Like, to me, it's still close enough. You know, I went into the final episode of Hawkeye right on the fence. Going into the final episode, I was right on the fence about Hawkeye. There was some stuff I didn't like, some stuff I liked. I thought, you know what, the final episode is going to make or break this. And I didn't really like the finale all that much, so I didn't end up enjoying Hawkeye too much. I find myself in the same place right now with Book of Boba Fett. Last episode, I'm kind of on the fence right now. The last 2 episodes have been great. Let's see where they go. So to me, the final episode is going to determine how I think about the Book of Boba Fett 2 or 3 years from now. Is this something that I enjoyed? Was it something I was overall disappointed with? Tonight will make all the difference. What am I expecting from tonight? That's a good question. There's a couple of things that I'm expecting. I am expecting Baby Yoda to show up. I think that the little cliffhanger last week was a setup for Baby Yoda to show up. He's going to make a choice. He's choosing Mando, and he's going to be there. Whether he leaps into battle against the kites K-I-T-E? What is it? Pix?
Pikes?
Spikes?
The Pikes.
The pikes.
Pikes.
The Pix.
The kites. The kites.
The kites, like
I would love
Kite
to see
Man?
the kite gang
The
where they're all
kite-
flying
kite-
kites in
All
the
Kite
desert
Man
winds of
clowns.
Tatooine.
Behind the Vespa crew.
Screw moisture farming. They should be like wind generated and solar farmers. That's what they should do on Tatooine. They could make a lot of money that way. But so I'm expecting Baby Grogu to show up. I'm also expecting there better be a great fight. There's got to be a great fight. They've been talking about war. All right, war. Are you going to give us the war now? Or are we going to get one scene as the show going to open with Boba Fett sitting at the table with the Pikes saying, I was joking about it earlier, saying, I'm glad we were able to work out our differences. Now let's go soak in a Bacta tank together and wear onesies. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. I want to see war. I want to see that break out. I want to see the Mos Espa Vespas die. Is that bad? I want to see him die. I want to see Black or Stanton like get pissed off at them for something, just rip their damn heads off. I don't care. That's the other thing I expect to see. I want to see Black or Stanton in action. I want to see that. And here's the thing. You're asking about, should we see Sabine show up? I will be phenomenally disappointed if they pull a Blade 3 with the final episode of Book of Boba Fett. What do I mean by that? Blade 3 wasn't even about Blade. It was all about trying to set up the Night Stalkers. Was that the name of them? The Night Stalkers? Yeah. It was all that. Blade 3 was really just a courier vessel to set up a Ryan Reynolds, good Canadian kid, my favorite movie star in the world, and what's her name? Mrs. Justin Timberlake.
Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel. Who I actually did like both of them in that movie, but that's all it was. If we get into the final episode of Book of Boba Fett, which has been ignoring Boba Fett the last couple episodes, and we find out this entire show was nothing but a setup for somebody else's show later on, I'm going to be pissed as a fan. I mean, as a fan, I'm going to be pissed about that. It's like, you better let Boba Fett shine in the final episode of Boba Fett, because you've been not even letting him be in his own show the last 2 episodes. So I want to see him shine. That's where I'm at right now. Chris, let me go over to you. We're heading into the final episode. Where are you right now as far as the show goes, and what are you expecting and hoping to see out of the finale?
I mean, I'm so excited about things that have happened in the show, but you guys are ultimately right. It hasn't been a Boba Fett show. And I've been fighting for this for so long, being like, no, they're chapters in the book. Let him have this. So there's a lot that I'm excited about. But yeah, Boba better show up and do some stuff this time. I really, really am figuring we'll see Grogu make that choice, right? If he follows the way of the Jedi or if he goes back to his dad, he's going to go back to his dad. I really want to just see Cad Bane wreck stuff. That's what Rob and I were talking about before.
Yep.
I want Cad Bane to come in and just be
Wreck
that
shop.
ruthless mercenary that we know him as. I'm so excited for that. And also Cobb Vanth to like show everyone, hey, I'm fine, it's just a flesh wound.
That would be fun. Rob, what about you? Like, where are you at right now with the show, and what are your expectations going into this finale?
I'm a little on the fence about it, to be honest. I mean, to me, I thought the Mandalorian episodes were fine and fun and all that, but they disrupted the story, I think, that was being told, unless they tie it back in very nicely in a nice bow.
Yes, that's why I was saying this could change everything.
It could change everything. And look, like, I would like to echo Chris's sentiments. I want to see a great battle. I want to see crime lords fighting crime bosses, fighting who, like I said, if each hut came in on an anti-gravity throne and one of them has a big gun in one hand and the other has some blaster cannon in the other, I mean, I want to see that kind of a battle. I want it to be insane. I want it to be crazy. And maybe Grogu comes in having learned something. I don't know. But give me something that's fun, and I want to see, the end of Rogue One done on the streets of Mos Espa.
Is it going to be Grogu learning something like in an after-school special where he just turns to camera and he's like, we all learned something fun today?
I
tell you what, one thing, I want Grogu to speak.
It's too early for him to speak. He's too young.
He's 50.
But by his species age, he's too young.
He just hasn't said anything yet.
So he's just going to all of a sudden be now like,
I think he's going to.
Man, it's hot
He'll
here.
utter one word. He'll say one word.
If it is,
He's just going to say din.
no, it's got to be bitch. It's got to be like a Pike coming up and trying to sneak up on him. He goes, bitch. She pulls out that lightsaber.
It's just the full Kyle Mooney baby Yoda from SNL. That's what we've been waiting for this whole time.
I'm telling you,
That's
he's
what I
going to say
see.
something. Or he'll say friend.
I think that they'll save that for me.
that's-
Something like that.
But somebody in the live chat said something, and I don't know if this is true or not. So, Ray, maybe you can look it up, and it's got me a
Okay.
little bit worried. Somebody in the live chat said Robert Rodriguez is directing this finale.
I think he is.
Is it bad that leaves me feeling kind of... Now, I feel one of the very first feature films that I ever worked on was a Robert Rodriguez film. It was Spy Kids 2. We did the scene where he's pouring out the animals out of the basket. Yeah, that was us. We kind of worked on that. But I was not thrilled with the episodes he directed earlier in the season. So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little bit nervous about that. By the way, can I just point out something else too? I was just looking at this image of Cad Bane. Is it just me, or does he, in this particular moment, does this not look like an anus with eyes?
Why
I mean,
would you put
I
that
don't
in
know
my
why.
brain?
I just
Why?
like
Where do you come up with these
a
things?
puckered up kind of. I don't know. Listen, I love Cad Bane. I do. It just looked kind of funny to me. that's all.
your mind movie theater is a dark, dark place, Campea.
It's NC-17 in my
Your
mind.
projector
movie theater.
bulb is too dim.
But anyway, question is for you guys. What are you expecting tonight? Number one, where are you with this show right now? Like, how have you felt about the show overall? I'm still a little bit on the fence. Maybe you've loved it. Maybe you haven't liked it very much. What are you expecting to see out of the final episode tonight? You know we're going to talk about this a lot tomorrow. So whatever you guys are thinking right now, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right. With that down, let's move on to main topic number 3. Chris, what is our third main topic today?
This comes from Dhruv Kapoor. Hello, John and crew. One of my favorite surprises at the movies this year was the appearance of Charlie Cox's Daredevil in the MCU. One of mine, too. I read some comments from him on Screen Rant where he said he's looking forward to crossover adventures with other Marvel characters, that he wasn't able to or do before. What are your team ups that you'd have to see with Daredevil have with other Marvel characters? And when do you think we'll see him on the big screen again?
All right. Thanks a lot for saying that in, man. And yeah, look, one of the big things ever since Kevin Feige came out like a month before Spider-Man came out and said, okay, yeah, Charlie Cox is going to be our Daredevil. I mean, once he made that official, I mean, everybody got excited and the idea about him coming back. And I'll be honest with you, it's something that I didn't think would happen. I mean, I knew they would have Daredevil. And I knew it was possible that they could bring back a different iteration of the Charlie Cox one. But I really never thought they would bring back Charlie Cox. But Kevin Feige seems to be getting more and more into the fan services moving forward. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But people got real excited about it. Then, of course, he pops up in Spider-Man, which was good to see. So the question now becomes, what does he want to do and where do we hope we see him and all that kind of stuff? Well, Charlie Cox kind of chimed in on this himself when asked about what is the future of Daredevil going to be? What does he want to have? What's going to happen with him? When is he going to pop up next? His basic answer was, I don't know, but he did elaborate on that a bit. This is what Charlie Cox had to say. I don't want to sound greedy, but I hope I get to do loads more. I hope I get to be involved way, way more for many years. I hope it never ends. I hope it gets to the point where people are like, you are too old to be playing this part. Don't know what their plans are, but yes, my hope is that I get to do as much as I'm allowed to do and be involved, which, by the way, we'll come back to this in a second, is a far cry from what Tom Holland was saying. I don't know if I should play it past 30 and maybe somebody else should have that. I mean, I love Tom Holland and I know that was coming from the good place. It's kind of cool to hear an actor go, hell no.
Yeah.
I want to play this thing for the rest of my life. Are you kidding me? Anyway, he goes on to say, and it'd be really fun. The one thing that being in the MCU allows that we couldn't really do with the Netflix stuff is that I can now interact with other MCU characters. So that would be really cool. Crossovers is the thing I would like to do next. I don't know what that looks like, and I don't know what they're planning and all that kind of stuff, but there are some really interesting stories that I'd love for the character to explore. And that comes to us from Charlie Cox. Look, I think I love his attitude, man. I love his attitude. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing on Tom Holland or any of the other actors to say, well, how long I'm going to do it. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with what they say at all. But I'm just saying, for me as a fan, it's really cool to hear an actor playing it having the same kind of attitude I think any of us would have if we had that opportunity. Wait a minute. I'm a Marvel superhero in the MCU, oh my God, I want to play this forever. I love what he said. I want to keep playing this role until they tell me I am too old to play this role. Damn right, Charlie. Damn right. And then you go back and you make Stardust 2, damn it.
Yes.
I love Stardust.
So good.
Oh, most underappreciated film ever to me is Stardust. You got to see Stardust if you haven't. Anyway, Charlie Cox, ladies and gentlemen. So I think this sounds, I love what he's saying. Now, when it comes to who do we want to see him teamed up with, I got a couple. One is going to be pretty much agreed upon, and one I think is going to surprise people. The one I would like to see him teamed up with, I think most people would concur with, is Spider-Man. I mean, that's been a duo in the comic books many times. I think the fact that he was kind of introduced in Spider-Man No Way Home, then again, whether Tom Holland's Spider-Man is even going to be in the MCU or some, weird, mixture, some kind of amalgamation of a Sony-verse. I mean, who knows? But still, that would be a good one. And I think their dynamics and everything would work out really well, too. They're both in New York. They're both New York-based. Seems to make sense. The other one, and Rob, you'll know why I'm saying this. The other one I would love to see him up with is the Hulk. I would love to see Daredevil teamed up with Hulk. Now, I think there's very good odds we're going to see him in She-Hulk. Mm-hmm. But my reason for wanting to see Daredevil and Hulk is because of the old Hulk TV movie with Lou Ferrigno. That's it.
That was rough, though.
That was rough. And you had...
and Thor, too.
Who was Kingpin in that again? It was Gimli. Gimli was Kingpin.
John Rhys-Davies.
John Rhys-Davies was Kingpin in that old one. I know, that sounds kind of crazy. But ever since then, I want to see Hulk and Daredevil. I mean, the possibilities are endless when it comes to who you can pair up with who and all that kind of stuff and that. But the two that really stand out to me, one is Spider-Man because it's obvious. The other one is Hulk. Rob, what do you think about Charlie Cox's comments here? Where do you think we may see him pop up again next? And what team-ups would you like to see him be a part of?
Well, what I think is really interesting about both the Matt Murdock character and Daredevil is one of my favorite Marvel heroes. And he works, I loved how they used him in Spider-Man, where he's a lawyer. Like, the idea that superheroes need lawyers, especially in New York, I love that idea. And so he can show up whenever somebody, you caused massive damage to a building, you're being sued. Matt Murdock's got your back. It's like the whole the superhero lawyer to the stars, whatever. But I would love to, obviously, Moon Knight. I'd love Daredevil.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing, I really want to see Typhoid Mary. I loved Typhoid Mary as a villain. I love Anna Nocenti's run on Daredevil and stuff.
Now they used Typhoid Mary in the Netflix stuff, so obviously it would be a different iteration.
I want to say I didn't like that iteration of Typhoid Mary.
I thought it had its upsides, but it would probably be a totally new iteration of it.
Yeah, but I like the one in the comics run. But also, I would like to see Daredevil interact with the Fantastic Four. Like, to me, Daredevil's the quintessential New York hero. Kel's Kitchen and so any more of the street level stuff. That's why I thought it was really well used in the Netflix shows. But I would love to see him go on a cosmic adventure. Whether he goes to battle,
really?
Yeah,
I don't think cosmic adventure.
I know. That's why I want to see him. I want to see him do something with the Fantastic Four. I don't know why. I'd love to see Spider-Man, and he fought with Moon Knight and all that. But I would like to see him. Look, if Spider-Man can go to space and confront Thanos, so can Daredevil.
Let me ask this though. I think a lot of people are believing that we'll probably see him pop up in She-Hulk.
Well, they're lawyers.
They're both lawyers. There's a legal angle there.
I mean, there's a show. There's a whole show
coming out.
It's Ally McBeal, but
that's all I want. I just want it to be a procedural.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now we've heard that She-Hulk is going to be very meta. Mm-hmm. Like talking to the cameras and breaking the fourth wall, actually going to the offices of Marvel. Mm-hmm. But I don't want Daredevil.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. That doesn't excite me.
Yeah, well, it's just like John Byrne's comic run, so I know why.
Well, yeah, I know, but I does that work in the MCU?
I don't. That's the thing. If they do that, I don't want fourth wall breaking Daredevil. Yeah. I don't want that.
Right.
I don't want that.
So with that, we're talking about that. It's a lot of people assuming it'd be She-Hulk. What are the possibilities he actually shows up in Doctor Strange? Like, could he actually be now in just about everything coming out?
I would say the over/under on whether Charlie Cox shows up in Doctor Strange is 100%.
Oh, you're not even saying it's a question.
100%.
Not even a question.
Not even a
It's
question.
absolutely going to be in Doctor Strange.
100%.
Showing up-
And he might not show up as Daredevil.
Okay.
But he's going to
But
be
we
in
see
Doctor.
Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
Matt Murdock. He's going to be because there's got to be some, in his lawyer guys. I mean, I think they're going to show him in these different, interacting as a lawyer, as Matt Murdock, before they bring him. And I'll tell you one thing, John, we're going to get a Daredevil movie. They haven't announced it. We're going to get one.
You think they're going to movie instead of television?
Do you know why? I'll tell you why. Well, it might be a show. They might make it a TV show, but they've already done that. And I think if you go back and
But
you
they
look
did it with great success.
they did do it with great success. But why? I think we need a Daredevil movie. And I think that there's look, they've done, whether it's the Born Again storyline and they redo it, I don't know. We need a Daredevil movie.
All right.
More than a series. Because if they're putting Matt Murdock in movies, I think they've got to give him a movie. Because they're showing him, they're teasing him in the movies. They're going to give him a show and don't put Matt Murdock in the movies, but they're putting him in the movies.
Well,
they're building up to his movie.
But remember, they are saying that, like, unlike the way they dealt with it with Netflix, where the movies acted like the Netflix shows didn't exist at all. That's different with Marvel and the way they're doing. Their movie, like, look, we had Wanda's in the movies, Wanda's in the TV show. Hawkeye in the movies, Hawkeye on the TV show. Like, so to them, it's a little bit more fluid, but maybe they're going Daredevil
is a foundational member of the Marvel universe, more so than a lot of other heroes. I would put Daredevil way above Hawkeye in terms of importance. He deserves a movie.
All right, Chris, let me ask you. We're hearing, first of all, what did you think about Charlie Cox's comments, and where do you expect and hope to see him pop up next?
I love his comments because, that's all we want as actors. If I got to be Squirrel Girl, I'd want to be Squirrel Girl till I was a geriatric. I'd play her till I was dead. It'd be amazing.
Squirrel grandmother.
Squirrel grandmother. Yes.
Squirrel Nan.
She's canon now. Make her so, internet. I am super, super excited, though, about his enthusiasm, and I love all of the team ups you guys have going on here. Obviously, Spider-Man is kind of like the gold standard because we've seen it so much in the comics. I really want this to be an opportunity to bring in White Tiger. I think that would be really fun.
Yeah. And the new storyline where Elektra becomes a female Daredevil, and I want to see that. Do that. There's a movie.
Just put anybody with Blade and I'm in.
Daredevil with Blade would be kind of fun.
And here's also Shang-Chi teamed up with Daredevil.
Yeah.
In a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
They
possibilities.
go to Japan and fight the Hand. I don't know. Do something. Bring in ninjas. More ninjas, but movie ninjas, not TV ninjas.
Although the enemies that Daredevil was fighting a lot in the TV show and who he may fight ain't going to stand much of a chance against Shang-Chi with his 10 rings.
No.
I know,
So
but
you're going
you
to have
know
to
what?
level it up a little bit.
When Shang-Chi fights his sister, man, he's going to take Daredevil with him.
be
Come
great.
on.
I don't think she's turning bad. I don't think his sister's turning
She's
bad.
just an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah, well-
She's just creating her. Look, she
When
created
her and
own-
Sharon
saw a void
Carter
in the
go to
market.
war,
It's not. Yeah, she may go to war with Sharon Carter. That would be fun. We're going to see her in Metal Wars. No, what's the show called?
Armor Wars.
Armor Wars. We're going to see her there. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about the comments coming from Charlie Cox, and where do you hope to see him? And what kind of team ups would you like to see his Daredevil do? Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Okay, guys. With that down, let's move on to main topic and our final topic today, number 4. Chris, what is our 4th main topic today?
This last one comes from Oliver. Hey, John, I loved the Oscar predictions you guys did on today's show.
That was
Yesterday's show.
yesterday, obviously.
With the nominations coming out in the morning, I was hoping you guys could do a breakdown and compare your predictions to the actual nominations. Who was worthy and who got snubbed? Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot for sending it in. And yeah, it is, I think it is fair to say, it is the number 2 most important day in the movie calendar. It is Oscar nomination day. Obviously, the most important day is Oscar day, but today the nominations got announced. Now, yesterday, I gave you, our viewers, the 100% ironclad guaranteed locks for who is going to be nominated. As it turns out, the Oscars got it wrong on a number of them.
Obviously.
Not me.
Obviously.
I didn't get them wrong.
Of course.
I gotta,
The
The Oscars got some of them wrong.
They really screwed the pooch on these.
But for the most, to be fair to the Oscars, they got most of them right. Let's go over and take a look at the nomination, the predictions we had, and how that actually leveled with the actual reality of who and what got nominated, shall we? Now, we're not going to look at every single category because we didn't pick every category, but let's look at the major ones here, shall we? Okay, so let's go over and take a look at it as such. We're going to start with the big one, the Best Picture. In white are the ones I got right. In red are the ones I got incorrect. So Best Picture nominees were Belfast, Licorice Pizza, Dune. I knew it was an outside shot, but I did predict that they would slide Spider-Man No Way Home in there. I have no problem that they didn't give it a Best Picture.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it deserved a Best Picture nomination, but I did kind of think it would get it, but it didn't. So that's why I predict. Also absolutely nominated was West Side Story, Power of the Dog, Coda, and then my biggest surprise, Tick, Tick, Boom did not get nominated for Best Picture. That is, some people are going to say Denis Villeneuve. We'll talk about that in a bit. But my biggest surprise was Tick, Tick, Boom. Not just because I thought it was awesome, but because it's the Academy's kind of movie. It's totally the Academy's kind of movie. And they didn't nominate it. And of course, did get nominated. So out of the 10, I got 8 of the Best Picture nominees. I was wrong about Spider-Man and Tick, Tick, Boom. Taking Tick, Tick, Boom and Spider-Man's place were Drive My Car, which would really not should be a surprise to a lot of people. That was a darling for a lot of Academy voters. And Nightmare Alley, again, not a big surprise. Not one I would have nominated, but not a big surprise because it has been on the awards circuit a pretty big darling there. So your 10 nominees are Nightmare Alley, Drive My Car, King Richard, Coda, Power of the Dog, Don't Look Up, West Side Story, Dune, Licorice Pizza, and Belfast. Guys, Chris, let's start with you. Got 8 out of the 10. Were any of these surprising to you? What stands out to you?
I was over here making faces. I couldn't be a secret agent ever. It's always written on my face. I don't think Nightmare Alley should be on this.
No, neither do I.
I don't think it should be on there at all.
I think it's good. I do. I think it's a good movie,
It's
but
fine.
I didn't think it was a Best Picture.
Yeah,
contender.
it's just not up there for me. And so that's really the one that just stands out to me. I'm not sure why you're here, but okay.
Yeah, what do you think about I think they got a lot of Belfast. None of us have a problem with
absolutely.
Belfast being on there.
No.
None of us have a problem with West Side Story or Power of the Dog or Coda or King Richard or
No.
hey, Drive My Car.
Drive My Car is great.
It's great. I never thought they would give it a nomination, to be honest with you, but I suppose I should have known they would have because it has been a darling with them, and it is great.
Don't Look Up does not belong on this list. I'm sorry.
I cannot disagree with you.
I
I don't disagree with you at all.
I love Adam McKay's The Big Short. Love it, love it, love it. This film, I thought it was incredibly disappointing.
See, I like it. I do. I like the film, but I do not believe it belongs on this list.
No.
But there's a lot of great, very deserving films on this list, and good on them.
Okay,
So
who's going to win?
I'm still leaning towards West Side Story.
See, of this list that we're given, I think that it's either going to be Power of the Dog,
Power of the Dog leads all nominations, by the way.
or
Yeah.
it's going to be Drive My Car.
I don't think it's going to be Drive My Car. I'll tell you what it's not going to be. I'll tell you what it's not going to be Dune.
No.
Only one time in Oscar history has a movie won Best Picture. I believe it's one time. Has a movie won Best Picture where the director wasn't nominated for Best Director. I believe that was Ben Affleck with Argo. I believe
Yeah.
it might have happened one or two other times as well, but it's very rare. So I doubt that's going to get there. But hey, listen, a great looking lineup of movies, a lot of great films being nominated for Best Picture, but a couple of surprises. Tick, Tick, Boom not being on there when Don't Look Up is. Hey, I think they got 8 or 9 of them right. I mean, they did great, but those are the ones.
They tried their best.
Yeah, they tried their best. Again, they should have watched our show yesterday and known what the nominees should have been.
Yeah, there's I was reporting on my own show this backlash against Lin-Manuel Miranda, which I don't understand.
Yeah, he was marvelous.
And it's just he did such a good job directing Tick, Tick, Boom. And that film was wonderful.
I think a lot
it
of
was
people
way better than Up in the Air.
I think the backlashing people are just people with kids who are sick of hearing we don't talk about Bruno. That's the only explanation I got.
Could
Okay,
very well be.
So let's go over and look at Best Director. All right, under the Best Director category, the ones we got right were Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza, Steven Spielberg for West Side Story, and Kenneth Branagh for Belfast. Ones we did not get right. I knew it was an outside chance with Lin-Manuel Miranda, but still I did pick him, even though I knew it was an outside shot, but he didn't get nominated. But this is going to be the story. This is the narrative going around right now that everybody's talking. Denis Villeneuve did not get nominated for Dune. Taking their places are, as Chris called, Jane Campion getting nominated for Power of the Dog, which, by the way, makes her the first female director in Oscar history to be nominated for Best Director twice. She's the first female director in history. She also got nominated for The Piano back in 93? No, 2003? It's
Get
something
it,
in
Jane.
3. I can't. But she got nominated for The Piano. She's the first time ever female director nominated twice. So congratulations to her. That's awesome. And Raishuke Hamaguchi gets nominated for Drive My Car. What is interesting here is that there are 2 nominated directors who do not have any actors nominated for Academy Awards. And if Denis Villeneuve had been nominated, he would have been the third, because no actors from Dune got nominated. So it would have been a little bit unusual. But again, Kenneth Branagh, absolutely deserving. Jane, absolutely deserving. Rishuke, absolutely deserving. Paul Thomas Anderson, absolutely deserving. I have no problems with any of the nominees. I am just a little bit surprised that we do not have Denis Villeneuve put up there. Now, the narrative across the web right now is that this is the most shocking thing in the world. Guys, it's not the most shocking thing in the world. Dune, as much as I love it, was not the best received film, either by fans or critics or whatever. I love it. I think it's great. I don't think it's a top 2 movie of the year, but none of the actors got nominated. And it's not terribly unusual, but it's a little unusual for a director to get a nomination when none of their actors got nominated. A little unusual, not terribly so. So while everybody's acting very agog and aghast with shock that he didn't get it, I do think he should have gotten a nomination, but I don't think it's all that shocking that he didn't get it. Rob, what do you think about that?
I don't think it's shocking either. Plus, it's half a movie.
It's half a movie,
I mean,
yeah.
it's half the story. And I think if they give it to him, they'll give it to him for Dune 2.
Right. Besides that, what did you think about the list?
Well, it doesn't surprise me much. I mean, I look at the list and I think all of these are very, very respectable. I think Jane Campion's going to take it. I think with the way
she's been winning a lot of them.
The way these have shook out. Now, I have not seen Drive My Car. I'm dying to see it. I think that could be a dark horse the same way that Parasite was. But I think Power of the Dog, this is clearly Power of the Dog's year. Mm-hmm. That's what I think. Mm-hmm.
I still think they're going to give it to Spielberg. I'm still leaning Spielberg.
I just don't think they'll give it to him for something that's perceived, even though it's not a reimagining, but it's been done before. You know, and I thought it was fantastically well directed. It was beautifully done. But I think that...
Well, I'll tell you right now, it is a better directed film than Power of the Dog is. But yeah. I think that's just my own subjective opinion. Like, again, Power of the Dog is one of those films that I was a little bit behind on watching compared to some people, and I heard all the raves and all the raves and all the raves. And I watched it, and I'm like, this is good. This is good.
Yeah.
But... Is it that good? But again, that's just my own personal.
But I think that this movie is now in the zeitgeist, that awards ceremony zeitgeist, and I think that when you look at these other things like Belfast.
By the way, I think Branagh is another very strong contender to win this.
He could because it is a very personal story for him.
Yeah.
But I think Jane Campion's going to take it.
What do you think about this, Chris?
I mean, I think this is a very strong list. Like you guys are saying, it doesn't shock me to my core that Denis is not nominated, and he will have a second go of it when he completes his film, because that's kind of how I feel about it. That first Dune, it's just the beginning, so we'll have more. Jane could get it. I think that'd be great if she did. Also, I have a hard time when it comes to doing like who's going to win by not comparing it to the Golden Globes, right?
Yes.
Like, okay, well, this got this for Best Musical Comedy, and then this one got drama, so it's probably between these two. And I know it doesn't always shake out that way, but it does lead me to believe that Power of the Dog is a much bigger contender than I initially thought of it. And oh my gosh, I can't believe I still haven't watched West Side Story.
Oh my gosh. Oh, watch it. It's so great.
I really, really need to.
It's so great. Okay. Let's now move on to the next category here. We're going to move on to Best Actress. And again, Academy got 4 right, 2 wrong. Yeah. So anyway, the ones we predicted that did get nominated for Best Actress. Nicole Kidman, told y'all she was going to get nominated for this, for being the Ricardos. Olivia Colman, which, by the way, I want to point this, I put this up on Twitter today. By getting nominated for The Lost Daughter, which I saw about a month ago, and frankly, it's a very, very good movie, directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, with her directorial debut. It's great, but I never thought it would be on the Academy's radar, like at all. But at any rate, Olivia Colman being nominated means she has been nominated in 3 of the last 4 years. In sports, we call that a dynasty. And she won one of those on her mantle. She's getting into that conversation with Meryl Streep and who just played Lady Macbeth again?
Frances
McDormand, who we had the big GOAT conversation. Frances McDormand with 3 Academy Award wins on her thing. She's getting into that conversation there. Anyway, so Nicole Kidman was nominated, Olivia Colman was nominated for The Lost Daughter, and Jessica Chastain did get nominated for The Eyes of Tammy Faye. The ones we got wrong, the one I'm not shocked that Lady Gaga wasn't nominated.
No.
I kind of thought they would put her in there, but I'm not shocked that they didn't. Rachel Zegler not getting nominated for West Side Story. Wasn't expecting her to win. I'm shocked though she didn't get nominated. The people who did get nominated are Penelope Cruz for Parallel Mothers, which I believe, Chris, you called yesterday.
I think that one was Rob, actually.
Was that one Rob?
Me.
I knew one of the two of you called it out
Kristen.
for Penelope Cruz for Parallel Mothers. And Kristen Stewart. You know, it's funny. I said months ago that Kristen Stewart was going to get nominated for Best Actress at the Academy Awards, and I walked back on it. And I shouldn't have, because I didn't like the movie all that much, but her performance is crazy great. So we've got, guys, in the span of a month, in the span of 30 days, we're going to have Robert Pattinson as the Batman and Kristen Stewart getting nominated for an Academy Award. Twilight is returning, ladies and gentlemen. So listen, I'm looking at this. I have not seen Parallel Mothers. So I'm going to take any opinions of that. Other than that, and Rachel not getting nominated for West Side Story, it's still a very, very solid lineup.
Brutal. This is a brutal race.
Brutal.
Here.
Yeah.
No big complaints from me. Rob, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, first of all of these are. Jessica Chastain was great in that role.
And Eyes of Tammy Faye.
She was great.
By the way, also with Andrew Garfield.
Also, yes. I mean, the guy, obviously one of the MVPs of the year.
Yeah.
But I look at this and I honestly think, to me, it's going to be between Olivia Colman, Penelope Cruz, and Nicole Kidman, I think. But it's anybody's.
No,
race.
more than almost anybody's, and almost more than any other category this year. This is a pick-em.
Yeah, this is a brutal.
I don't know that there's a front runner.
Brutal, brutal
Anybody
category. Brutal category. But I do, you know what? All of these are very, very worthy
Yes.
additions. All these women delivered exquisite performances, so I have no problem with anything here.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you think about the list we got here?
Well, I'm very excited for you to see Parallel Mothers because it is a phenomenal film. Penelope Cruz is so good in it. Gosh, it is a really, really wild race here.
2 redheads in this category too. So I just
know.
want to say, hey,
Wild, this is not going to be a wildly popular opinion. I don't think this is Olivia Colman's best work. I think she's been much stronger in other things. I don't particularly think Lost Daughter is a particularly strong film, but that's just me. Her performance is great in it. It's not particularly my cup of tea, the storyline there. And Nicole Kidman really, really did a lot of great
Lucille
work
Ball,
here.
She was so good.
She was phenomenal. And people really thought she was gonna, bomb this, and she delivered.
She crushed.
She
does what
showed
she
up.
does.
Yeah.
She crushes. That's all. Even in stupid AMC pre-show commercials,
Oh, man.
she crushes. Somehow,
Do you know
Heartbreak
you're in a
feels
movie
good in a place
theater? Well,
like
let me
this.
remind you.
But again, I think I don't see Penelope winning, but
No.
honestly, I'm not going to be shocked if they announce Kristen Stewart wins. I'm not going to be shocked if they announce Jessica Chastain wins, or Olivia Colman, or Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's pretty loud. All right, let's move on to the next category here. Best Actor. And no surprises. We knocked this one out 5 for 5.
we did.
We predicted Will Smith, King Richard, Denzel Washington, Tragedy of Macbeth, Benedict Cumberbatch for The Power of the Dog.
Pretty great.
Javier Bardem. People looked at us a little funny when we said Javier Bardem, but he did get the nomination for being the Ricardos. And of course, Andrew Garfield for the not nominated for Best Picture, Tick, Tick, Boom. No surprises here for us. This is exactly who we thought would get nominated. And again, wow. I think Javier Bardem,
Dude, this is a brutal category.
it is. Javier Bardem, I believe this is his second best performance ever next to No Country for Old Men. I loved him that much as Ricky Ricardo. I don't see him winning, but again, this is one of those things. Will Smith can easily win this. Denzel Washington can easily win this. Benedict could easily get his name called. Andrew could easily get his name called. Again, I'm not picking a winner in this one. It is too much of a toss-up. It's 5 fantastic performances, fantastically stacked category. Rob, your thoughts on this one?
I just look at these names. I'm looking down here going, first of all, these are all great choices. There's no, and the performances here, and it's in a way, all of these guys deserve to win. I know people say that every year, but everyone, and they're very different kinds of performances, and I mean, who would have thought Denzel Washington could crush Shakespeare the way he could?
Kenneth Branagh did.
Destroyed that role. Who did?
Kenneth Branagh knew, because he did Much Ado About Nothing.
Yeah, he did.
Which Keanu was great in too.
Yeah, it was.
It's true.
But I mean, again, guys, I know a lot of you did not see The Tragedy of Macbeth. If you want to see what real acting looks like, you watch Frances as Lady Macbeth and you watch Denzel as Macbeth. And you're suddenly, because I remember watching this movie, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. That's what real acting looks like. It's like, oh my God, they put on a clinic. So good. All right. With that, let's move on to our next category here, which is Best Supporting Actress. And this is the category that my predictions did worst. So here we go, because I only got 2 out of the 5 on this one. This was a lot of potential here. This is what it gets. So nominated are, for my predictions, Ariana DeBose, who for West Side Story, Kristen Dunst for Power of the Dog. Who did not get nominated, that we predicted, was Catriona Balfe, who for Belfast. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Not shocked that Rita did not get nominated for West Side Story. I knew that was a little bit of an outside shot, so I'm not shocked. I'm shocked they didn't give a nomination to Cate Blanchett because while I didn't super love the movie, I thought it was quite good. Her performance was fantastic, so I kind of thought she would. However, being nominated in their stead are Dame Judi Dench for Belfast. I always mispronounce her name because I read it 1,000 times.
Ingenue Ellis?
Ingenue Ellis, thank you, for King Richard. And here's interesting. Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter. This is really interesting because Olivia Colman is also nominated and they play the same person. So I can't remember 2 performers playing the same role in the same movie, both getting nominated. Did it happen with The Godfather 2? Did it happen with Robert De Niro and
Well, De Niro, it might. I think so.
Sorry, that was for 2 different movies, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say
because
Marlon Brando's not
got nominated for Godfather
2.
1. Robert De Niro got nominated for Godfather 2. But this might be the first time. I don't know if it is for sure, but it might be the first time that 2 performers playing the same role in the same movie both got nominated. I think that's very, very interesting here. Look, I have no complaints about this. About the substitutions, a little bit surprised. Again, not really surprised about the Rita Moreno. I think this is Ariana's one to win, though. I think she
agree.
is the front runner here. She stole that movie. She was a revelation to the world in this. I call that. Rob, what do you think?
I think you're absolutely right. Again, it's another strong category. I got to give a shout out to the Dunst Jesse Plemons family.
Well, we'll get to that in a little bit here.
But
yes.
because they're parents, they're together.
They're a married couple. A lot of people don't know that Kristen Dunst and Jesse Plemons are married.
And I kind of like to see that. Like I don't know what's going to happen in their household the night of the awards, but hey, I've always loved Kirsten Dunst ever since Interview with the Vampire. I love to see her in this, but I think Ariana's going to win this one.
Chris, what do you think about the nomination list, and who do you got winning here?
I mean, I haven't seen it, and I know that Ariana's going to win this one. It's all anyone talks about. And this Last Daughter nomination honestly makes more sense to me because this is where a lot of the meat of that story
Yes,
lives.
it is. Yes.
So that I went, okay, great. I understand this. But really, yeah, Ariana, I know, like, that's the thing I'm looking forward to most when I see this film is her performance. I love her. I love everything she's in. Her work as the Bullet in Hamilton, her work on Schmigadoon, The Prom. She's great. She's phenomenal.
Schmigadoon's a kind of a little diamond in the rough that not a lot of people have
you
checked
have to
out.
love musicals, I think, to really like that.
One thing I'll say about The Lost Daughter again is that I still can't wrap my head around the ending of the movie.
Right?
The ending of wait, what? What? Why is that in her hand?
Same.
Like, I'm still kind of a little shocked by that.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So that's our Best Supporting Actress. Let's move on to the next category here, which is Best Supporting Actor. And we had predicted and were nominated was Cody Smith-McPhee for The Power of the Dog, Syrian Hines for Belfast, J.K. Simmons. Again, a lot of people didn't think he'd get nominated for this.
You brought it up, though.
He is so good in this movie.
You brought it up.
J.K. Simmons for Being the Ricardos, not nominated, where I knew Ben Affleck was the outside shot, but Ben Affleck did not get nominated for The Tender Bar. Very surprised that Bradley Cooper didn't get nominated for Licorice Pizza, because I felt he had a lot of momentum going into this, but he didn't. Taking Ben Affleck's and Bradley's place on my list were Troy Kotsur for Coda and Jesse Plemons rounding out the married power couple for Power of the Dog. Husband and wife both get nominated for the same movie.
Friday Night Lights Power. Let's hear it for Jesse.
There you go. I think this is, again, big list. I'm very, very surprised about Bradley Cooper not getting nominated. But other than that, I have obviously Troy. I thought Troy deserved it. I didn't think he'd get the nomination.
You called it. You called Coda
did.
yesterday.
Yeah.
You
Yes, she
called
did.
it.
Yes, I did.
Chris
Making
called it.
history as our first deaf actor, our male actor, I
So
believe.
what do you think about the list here that we've got?
I want him to win this so bad. He put so much heart and soul into this film. I really, really am rooting for him. This is a great category, though. Again, we have so many strong performers here. It really is anybody's race, but gosh, I'm pulling for him.
Yeah. Rob, you're going to pick a winner on this one?
That's a tough one. I think you're right. I think that Coda. I think Coda could take it.
I think they're going to give it to Cody.
Well, that I mean, again,
Really strong
I would give it
performance.
to J.K. Honestly, I would give it to J.K. Simmons. He, because he did what a supporting actor really does in a thing. He's got a supporting role, but he steals the movie when he's in it. And that's what he did in Being the Ricardo. So I would give it to him, but I think it's going to be Cody Smith.
yeah, Power of the Dog is pretty much. I think it's gonna.
You think he might run the table?
Yeah, it might run the
Probably.
table.
All right, well, let's move on to the next
Hold
category.
on, John.
here.
Let me interrupt here.
Yes.
The chat is pointing out that Titanic is the first time two actors were nominated for the same role.
That's right, because the old lady was nominated. I forgot about
Gloria
that.
Stewart.
See, this is what we throw to our audience.
And
Thanks, Chad.
the Sierran hins, it's Kieran. That's the
I've
way
heard
it's
it pronounced different ways.
Oh, okay. Well-
I believe the audience, though.
Okay.
I believe the audience. All right.
There you go.
The Titanic
That's it.
thing.
Just
The
say
Titanic thing.
Steppenwolf.
That is interesting. Just say
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf. All right. Now we move into some of my favorite categories, which is screenplay. All right. So we got 4 out of the 5 for best adapted screenplay. We predicted Power of the Dog, Dune, Coda, and Drive My Car. However, I also thought West Side Story. Remember I said yesterday it's difficult for musicals to get the screenplay
Yep.
nomination? Yeah, it turns out because my prediction that West Side Story would get that 5th one did not. The Lost Daughter, however, got it, making this a listen. You can say this is the year of Power of the Dog. The Lost Daughter is the movie that's sneaking up on everybody and surprising. Again, I watched it last month and I think, oh wow, this movie's great, but I didn't even consider it for Oscar stuff. But getting nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay as well, and I have no complaints. I mean, I would have liked to have seen West Side Story get a screenplay nomination, but Power of the Dog script, Dune script, Coda, Drive My Car, and Lost Daughter. It's all great. I can't pick a winner here. Rob, do you got one? Does any stand out to you for being left out or anything?
No, not. But I could see Drive My Car taking this one.
Ooh.
Yeah. No. Honestly, if I had to put $1 on it, I'd put it on Drive My Car.
You Drive My Car. I mean, Power of the Dog obviously is a front runner in this category, but I think Drive My Car.
Well, if Power of the Dog is going to run the table, it would have to win this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about you, Chris?
I would probably give it to Power of the Dog. I think the other contender here is Dune, but again, it's part 1 of something, because that's a hard book to whittle down into a film, hence why it's not a film. And I think a couple people in the chat are saying the same thing. So I think that has some potential there too. But
Yeah.
again, it might be once we see volume 2 come out, that's when that one sweeps.
All right. Let's get on to Best Original Screenplay. And again, we got 4 out of the 5 for Best Original Screenplay. And that was King Richard, Belfast, Licorice Pizza, and Don't Look Up. However, Being the Ricardos did not get nominated. And this is the one I'm going to say I have a real problem with. I'm not most surprised, but I do have a problem with Being the Ricardos not being nominated for this. I thought the screenplay was absolutely fantastic. However, being replaced, I can't complain too much because I did not see The Worst Person in the World.
I haven't seen it yet. A friend
So
of mine
I
just
can't
did and loves
complain.
it.
I cannot complain. So that's the one. By the way, somebody pointed out in the live chat, obviously the biggest snub of the Academy Awards this year is in the Best Supporting Actress category because where's Aaron Cummings
For
for
King Richard.
King
Yeah.
Richard? Where was Aaron Cummings for King Richard? Obviously, the Oscars are a sham now. But I really do feel Being the Ricardo should have been nominated. Again, I cannot complain about Worst Person in the World not being there because I haven't seen it. But fabulous lineup here. King Richard, Belfast. I'm going to go out and I'm going to say Belfast wins this.
I agree
think
with you.
You agree with that
I agree
one?
with you.
Yeah, I think this is the one that they may sneak up. What about
Yeah,
you?
I agree with that. Again, it's so personal. Such a beautiful story.
Yeah, and I think that's the key. You brought that up, Rob, about the very
Yeah.
personal nature of it. The writers really seem to gravitate towards that stuff. And remember, it is the writers' branch of the Academy that kind of puts forth the nominations and everybody votes. But I think this could be Belfast.
I agree. Look, again, these are a lot of great screenplays here. I thought King Richard was a great screenplay,
Yeah.
but a little conventional. You know, kind of a convention. Whereas Licorice Pizza, again, very personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, Paul Thomas Anderson is loved by the Academy, but I think Kenneth Branagh is going to take this.
All right. Now let's move on to the last one we're going to talk about here today. And that is one that's very near and dear to my heart, which is Best Visual Effects. And again, we got 4 out of the 5. And those were Dune, Spider-Man No Way Home, Shang-Chi. Everybody said I was crazy yesterday when I said Shang-Chi was going to. They said you're crazy. Yeah. Shang-Chi got nominated. Free Guy got nominated. I was a little surprised that Godzilla vs. Kong didn't get nominated.
Yep.
And the one that took its place was No Time to Die. And I'll tell you what. At first, I was kind of surprised. But when I think back to No Time to Die, now again, you got to remember the nominations are put together by the branches of the Academy, right? So this wasn't the actors voting on who should be nominated for Best Visual Effects. They'll vote on at the end about who wins. These are visual effects people who put up these nominations. And the more I thought about it, the great thing about No Time to Die's visual effects is it's all visual effects that has to make it feel like it's part of the real world.
Yeah.
Whereas Godzilla vs. Kong, which I love the visual effects in Godzilla vs. Kong, you already have that in your mind that this ain't real, right? And then when I thought about it more, it's like, you know what? Yeah, the visual effects in No Time to Die were pretty damn awesome. They were really well done. I didn't put it on my list. Maybe I should have. But yeah, Dune, Spider-Man No Way Home, Shang-Chi, Free Guy, No Time to Die. Dune wins this 3 times on Wednesday.
I agree.
I don't even think this is going to be close. I think Dune wins this. Rob, you agree with this?
John, I totally agree. I also want to give a shout out because he passed away last night. One of the greatest visual effects artists of all time, the great Douglas Trumbull, who did effects on 2001. He directed Silent Running and Brainstorm. He did the effects for Close Encounters of the Third Kind. On Blade Runner, he invented ShowScan. One of the great technicians and great visual effects stylists of our age, passed away at 79. So he was an amazing guy. Blade Runner should have won. I believe E.T. won in 82 for visual effects.
Don't remember. By the way, should kind of point out, just as a little interesting thing here, this is Spider-Man No Way Home's only nomination for this year. I know a lot of people hope. I know I heard some people who were very optimistic. It's going to get some acting nominations. It wasn't going to get any acting nominations. I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought Alfred Molina was fantastic. I thought he was fantastic in it, but kind of knew he wasn't going to get nominated for this. I wouldn't have put that up there. If there was any role in a comic book movie this year that I thought may have had a chance, it was Tony Leung in Shang-Chi playing Wenwu. That was the one I thought had a chance. But I didn't really expect him to get it because who did get nominated is a high bar. Mm-hmm. So overall, of the 55 picks that we made, got 15 wrong out of the 55. So not bad. I think it's like 73% accuracy rate. I'll take it. That just means that the Academy got it wrong 23%.
I'd go to Vegas with y'all.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good winning record. I'll take that. So out of the 55, got 15 incorrect. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What did you think about the Oscar nomination? There are some awesome films, some awesome performances, some awesome screenplays. I think for the vast majority of it, I think the Oscars got it right. Couple of things I'm a little bit surprised about, but you got to get that every year. What do you guys think? What stands out to you as the biggest surprise? What is the film you're really rooting for the most? Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's now move on and start taking your live comments and questions. For those of you who don't know, if you want to get in a live comment or question on the show, you simply use the super chat feature in the YouTube chat. However, we had to turn it off really early in the show because a lot of you guys had a lot to say and got it all in there. So we're going to get through these as many as we can because we do have a lot of them. So Chris, What are we starting off here with in our super chats?
This comes from Chris Barcinas. How does Denis Villeneuve get snubbed? Shake my damn head.
Again, not snubbed. Like, I think you can only use the term snubbed if you can make a valid argument that they should win. If you can't make a valid argument that they should win the award, then it's not really a snub that they didn't get nominated. Again,
Right.
it's when you look at that director's list, it is packed. And again, it was like, I would have nominated him. I would have. But who do you take off the list? That's always the question that nobody wants to answer. Okay, that's great. You felt they got snubbed. Who would you take off the list? Do you take off, where's my director category? Do you take away Paul Thomas Anderson? I don't think so. You don't take away Kenneth Branagh. No. You can't complain about Jane. You can't complain about Steven Spielberg. And you can't complain about Hamaguchi. I mean, these are all worthy.
They are, but Dune did get 10. I know there are a lot of technical nominations, but it did get 10 awards.
Yes, but here's the thing. I believe that the number one job of the director is to bring out the best performance possible out of their actors. If none of the actors get nominated for an Oscar, then I don't, even though I still would have nominated Denis myself, I would have still put him on the list. But if none of the acting performances get Oscar nominations, I don't have a complaint if that director doesn't get nominated.
All right.
So again, I would have nominated him, but I have no complaint that he didn't. So anyway, there's that. All right, what's next?
Kevin Joyce. Moonfall snubbed across the board. Ray is devastated.
Outrage!
Inconsolable.
Ray just seething all day. He's been holding in this powerful outrage. But I don't know. Hey, listen, you know what? Honestly, Moonfall could have got nominated for
Screenplay.
No, I got nothing.
No.
Makeup, costume design.
If there was a category best wallpaper, it might, because there's a couple of shots in there that I really love, but that's it.
Not in the room on the walls wallpaper. You mean
Like, yeah, on your computer, on your phone.
Yep, some really
the
good
smaller,
wallpaper
the better.
material there. All right, what's next?
Josh Pollard. At Scotty H, I would recommend checking out Batman Hush, my all-time favorite comic. That's a great one. And one of the best stories featuring an ensemble of rogues gallery villains out there.
Sorry, who was that one from?
Josh Pollard with an at Scotty H on it.
Scott. Sorry, say it again. What's the name?
Josh Pollard?
I got Josh Pollard here for tickets for Imax fan event.
Oh, I have. Oh.
I'll tell you what.
I have a bonus one from Josh Pollard then.
But you didn't have one from Suthius?
No.
Okay, go ahead. Read off the screen there.
Sure. On the train of I've watched you since, our oldest was only a 1-year-old when I first discovered you and your show. Our oldest just turned 12.
Oh my God.
Wow, dude.
Oh my God.
That's 20% of your life.
That is, yeah.
Dang.
There you go. I mean, thank you for watching for that
20%
long,
of your
Suthius.
life, John Campea.
I appreciate that, man. All right, what's next? Thank you, Suthius.
Josh Pollard. Tickets for the IMAX fan event of the Batman sold out at my theater in 3 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, not surprised. I mean, that's just, remember, single theaters are single theaters. So, I mean, that's only like a couple hundred tickets. But
So much for Ticket Watch.
it's, Rhea and I realized you can't do ticket watch for this now. We'll do reaction watch for Batman, but it is crazy. I'm so happy. I hope you did get your tickets, Josh.
Did we get good seats?
We did. There was only about 8 tickets sold because I was in there like a minute before it opened, and like I had to be in there right when it opened. I got us right in the middle. It's good seats.
We may have some breaking news right now from Casey Mack. He says there might be a Jordan Peele trailer on Super Bowl Sunday.
That's not actually breaking. They announced that earlier today.
Oh, okay.
They are going to release.
Rape, nope.
Yeah, nope. Is the name
I'm excited for that though. I'm excited for this.
You know
can't
what?
wait.
I want to be excited. I just didn't like Us.
But the title,
Like,
come on. The
it's a
title
great
could
title.
mean anything.
It's that Danny DeVito thing.
Nope. But we'll see. Like the little tease they put out for it is kind of interesting.
Oh, there's a tease for it?
It's just like 5 seconds teasing the trailer's coming Sunday. Again, I don't think it's going to play during the Super Bowl. It's probably going to play, the same day as the Super Bowl. Like kind of like what they're doing for the Lord of the Rings thing.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
Oh, can I see your screen? Thank you.
Scott
Scott H, 1 of 2. Hey, everyone. I am reading my comics again and get ready for the Batman. These are the 5 I have read. Let me know if this is a good jumping point.
Wait, Well, we'll just have to get to that if we ever come across
What
it.
are the
Scotty.
comics?
We'll keep our eyes open for it, Scotty. Okay, what's next?
Splendorous. Can't believe no noms for The Green Knight or Last Night in Soho. Those two were robbed.
I listen. I'm gonna. I know Edgar Wright. I've done several things for Edgar. Edgar was a guest on my Masters of the Web panel. Edgar had me moderate the big Q&A for with him and the Nick and Scott. No, wait, who was it there? Who was there that day? Anyway, Edgar had me moderate the big Q&A for End of the World, or World's End, I should say. I've got to do a lot of stuff with him. He's one of my favorite directors. I don't think Last Night in Soho deserved any nominations. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I like the film. I do. It's a good film, but it is not my favorite Edgar Wright film. And I'm not surprised. Green Knight. I loved Green Knight. Would I have nominated for Best Picture? No, but I thought it was great. Did you guys have any feelings about Last Night in Soho or Green Knight not getting nominations?
I mean, technically, cinematography-wise, design-wise, there's a lot of really interesting stuff in those films.
yeah, both of them. Yeah, for very different reasons and very different
absolutely.
styles.
Do you know that the Green Knight costumes, for the most part, were vegan costumes?
I did not know that.
The
You
direct-
sound like somebody who may have interviewed the costume
I
designer.
may have interviewed the costume designer. They are on the Designing Hollywood podcast. Vegan costumes.
All right, what's next?
Cutter Hale. Can't believe the new was snubbed. Are we going to have a ticket watch Thursday for Batman? I'm super pumped already. Have my showing picked out.
See, here's the problem, and Ray brought this up, and he was absolutely right. With now thousands, like there's probably 100 screenings happening on March 1st. Now, literally, at least probably 100 theaters are going to be playing that special fan screening. That takes away a lot of the oomph, I think, from Ticket Watch on February 10th. So no, I don't think we're going to do Ticket Watch on February 10th because a lot of people are going to have already seen it on March 1st. So probably not, unfortunately.
It's interesting. I wonder how they're going to calculate that in terms of box office.
It will not count towards its opening weekend.
Yeah.
It will count towards its overall total, but it will not count towards
I
opening
know.
weekend.
Isn't that interesting?
It is, but that's the way it actually lines up. All right, what's next?
Casey Mack. Just bought my tickets for the special Batman fan event on March 1st.
I'm glad you're able to get those tickets, Casey. We got 6 tickets ourselves. We're going to be there. Cannot wait. I hope you have a good time at it, Casey. All right, what's next?
Ryan Ramirez loves the show.
Maybe he live the show.
live the show?
Thank you, Ryan. We live it too.
live you
Very
back.
much.
Love you too, Ryan.
All right, what's next?
Andy 105. Batman is tied with Dean Winchester as my all-time favorite character. WB is giving fans an early exclusive IMAX premiere on Tuesday, March 1st.
And nope.
We'll find you, Andy.
We'll
One
come
day.
back around to it at some point. All right, what's next?
All right. Bobby Harris. Just got my tickets to the advanced screening of The Batman on March 1st. Pumped.
I know. I was so listen, when Rob sent me the text yesterday showing that, I'm like, this is going to be popular. And I knew I had to get my tickets for it. We got them. I'm so excited. I'm glad you're able to get yours, Bobby. Okay, what's next?
Repeat of Bobby Harris, and then Raymond Verrata. Another big director has come out against superhero films. In Variety, Steven Soderbergh mentioned he won't direct them because there is no fucking.
Yeah, I saw that. Steven Soderbergh.
Eternals.
Which is like, okay, Soderbergh. I
Come
get
on,
it.
what about the boys, yo? I mean,
he
I
really
thought a
mean that?
movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if he really meant it or if he's. I have no idea. But,
And
it's like,
Eternals, we got a little Gemma Chan action. Come on now.
but listen, I'll be honest with you.
She lives in my dreams every night.
Look, there are very, very few out of the 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 comic book movies we've seen. Other than Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone as Peter and Gwen. The couple in the Eternals, Makari and Druig. I love that couple. And Tony and Pepper. I don't really like any romance in my comic book movies.
But
There are some exceptions, but I don't really want any sex in them, to be honest.
There may not be any of that, but there has to be a bunch of babies out there that were born during the Fantastic Four reboot, because that movie was so boring. I'm pretty sure people found something else to do.
I'm just like, well, might as
You know,
well.
we could watch this,
But you know,
or we could hump.
But you know, I think that Soderbergh is there's this idea that the genre of superheroes is somehow responsible for the demise of cinema. Like you said, John, I don't really think sex belongs in superhero movies. And I think what they are is they're true to their own genre. Now, I love my Ennui trilogy. I don't expect, superheroes to show up in an Antonioni movie at all. It's just different. And because superheroes have become the dominant force in Hollywood doesn't mean they're bad.
By the way, a number of people also pointing out in the live chat, National Women's Day in Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds took one for the team in that one. So, I mean,
hey, don't knock it till you tried it. That's what I have to say.
Oh, my God. All right, what's next?
This is from Elmist. Hey, John and crew. Just got my Batman tickets for March 1st on Imax for an early fan screening.
I mean,
So
I'm
excited.
so glad so many of you guys were able to get that. We were too. Elmist, I hope you have a great time, dude. All right, what's next?
Ryan Trabuco, one of two, Lin-Manuel Miranda is a musical genius.
He is.
The Wrap reported that all 8 songs from the Encanto soundtrack have now charted on the Billboard 100 charts this week.
Oh, my God.
That's
Bravo.
crazy.
And I
we
can't
don't
see
know
part
where
2,
you
so we'll just
are.
have to get to it when we do. Sorry about that, guys. You're going to have to try to keep it to one part, I think.
Can you go a little up for me, John?
Where are we at?
There we go.
Okay.
Josh Kahn. I had hoped between the racist
Actually, you know what? Hold on a second. Let's talk about that just for a second. By the way, we didn't cover it in our Oscar coverage. One of the categories that we did not discuss was Best Original Song. And we knew this because it wasn't submitted, but a song from Encanto got nominated, but it was not We Don't Talk About Bruno, which is it. But when you look at that and you look at Tick, Tick, Boom, and he had that other thing he did where he did music for it.
Vivo.
Yeah, thank you. Lin-Manuel, between that, Hamilton, and then, of course, he did In the Heights, which I loved In the Heights.
In the Heights was great.
I don't care what anybody else says. I loved In the Heights. I thought the movie was great. And I never heard a single song from it before. And I just went into that movie cold. Absolutely loved it. If he keeps up this pace, which I don't know anybody can, he keeps up this pace, he's going to become one of the most important people in Hollywood. He's going to be the John Williams of, songs as opposed to score. He's just kind of heading that
He's
way.
an Alan Menken.
By the way, there's
absolutely
something we also didn't talk about animation. We talked about it yesterday.
We did because it was kind of an unremarkable year.
I agree, but I wanted to say about Belle because people have been asking me, well, what about Belle? I think
Depends on
Belle
when it
is
got nominated or when it got released.
Yes, I think it is considered a 2022 film
That's what I was
because
wondering.
Right. Because
Yeah.
Bell did not
Right.
get nominated. Right.
Yeah.
Something called The Flea did, which I wasn't sure what that was.
Which
but-
is also it also got nominated for documentary. So I'm not familiar with Flea, but Flea got nominated for Best Animation and Best Documentary.
All right.
So it's an
gotta watch
animated documentary?
is it about the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
I'd watch that.
It might be.
Sign me up. I don't think it is. I think it's like an Italian. I don't know what it is. I'm not familiar with Flea, but unless I'm wrong, but yeah, people are saying like, yeah, it's an animated documentary. I've never heard of an animated
That's
documentary
cool.
before. That's a very cool. Now I want to watch it.
Yeah, me too.
I'll watch it.
All right. What's next?
All right, Josh Kahn. I'd hope between the racist Asian accent joke and 25 to 15-year-old age relationship, LP would not get on for noms for Best Picture, Best Original
Okay, no, just
Screenplay.
ignore
Okay.
it. If we're not
Yeah.
if you're not going to write it out, guys, we don't know what you're talking about. And what is LP?
Licorice Pizza.
Licorice Pizza.
Oh, Licorice Pizza. Okay. Here's the thing. This whole thing, it had a movie with a 25-year-old. Oh, well, if I'm not mistaken, it's kind of based on real events and things that happened. Like I mean,
Well, also too about he was trying to be evocative of the 70s.
yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, first of all, when you were 15, when I was a young man, my mom got me the hottest babysitters ever. And I was like 8, but I'm just saying, my first one that I remember was this girl named Debbie Black. And she was stunning. And I'm just telling you, she was like 15. If she had I was 8, but I wouldn't have said no.
What? Of course, no 8-year-old.
saying.
What the fuck are you talking about?
But I mean, the idea, how can you
Hold on,
complain?
let me
If you're
interrupt
a
here.
15-year-old boy, are you telling me that you, as a 15-year-old boy, don't have crushes on like a 25-year-old?
Oh, yeah.
Adult boys do, but
Jesse Spano,
the
Saved by the Bell.
children are not the ones expected to be responsible. It's not. We're not expecting the 8-year-old or the little teenager.
I'm
to be
making a joke. I'm
responsible.
just saying, when I was 8, I noticed the fact that my mom was able to, and I had friends of mine going, "Hey man, you have a babysitter coming over tonight? Can I come over?" I mean,
we
it
all
was
had
like that.
crushes on our babysitter.
That's right.
Of course
I'm
we
just
did.
saying, it's not a bad thing.
I'm just saying it's like when filmmakers make stuff that is reflective of the time that they were in. are we meant to rewrite history or pretend that history wasn't a certain way or that our culture wasn't a certain way? We now know where we are in this period of time, what is acceptable and what is not, but that doesn't mean we rewrite history to pretend they didn't. It reminds me a lot of in Thank You for Smoking, when in the movie, a great movie by Jason Reitman, by the way, in the movie, the anti-tobacco movement was trying to petition Congress to go back to old movies and edit out cigarette smoking out of old movies. Right? It's like, so no, I don't know. I kind of look at it a little bit differently. I don't take that stuff as seriously as heavily. I'm not saying people should or should not. I'm just saying for me, that's
But
kind
it's
of how
bizarre
I look at that.
though. That like, are you supposed to, if you were going to go make 12 Years a Slave, are you supposed to cut out the offensive language from a movie like that?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's always, it's problematic. So I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. All right, what's next?
All right, next we have this from Chance, a $99.99 super chat.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Chance sent in like $100 tip yesterday as well.
my
Wow, what the
Gosh.
heck, Chance?
Thank you, Chance.
Thank you, Chance.
Thank
Ray is
you.
like, just buy me
Buy
Super Bowl ticket.
me something.
Well,
Just buy me the
Well, hang on.
Batman.
More importantly, what does Chance have to say?
Yes,
Hey,
and that's what,
John,
but first, I just want to say thank you, Chance, for supporting our channel on that level, man.
Let's
All right, what's next?
Hey, John and crew, I can't stop buying Funko Pops.
I warned you. I warned you.
Wait,
I got Mike,
Ray's got a
Max,
show. Look at
Lucas,
this.
Steve,
Oh yeah, let's go over.
Robin.
Hold on a second. Let's go over to Ray for
What's
a
up,
second.
Chance? Can you see that?
Look at that
Yeah.
Master Chief.
Wow.
He's so cute.
That's pretty dope. I mean,
Big head right here.
is that new?
Actually, you got another Master Chief there. So you got two. You got one there on your desk.
The whole desk is gonna be.
That's
Master
really
Chief
cool,
pretty soon.
though. I mean, I don't collect Funko Pops, but I would buy that. I want that, and I want to get the Arishem one too.
Oh, the Arshan one looks so good. Okay, sorry. Let's get back
So
to what
they
Chance was
got,
saying.
they got Mike, Max, Lucas, Steve, Robin, Hopper, Dustin, 11, and Alexi from Stranger Things Season
Wow.
3. As always, keep up the great work, guys, and have a great day.
See, this is the hard part. This is the hard part. You get a couple, you think, okay, that looks nice. Like when Ray got me those couple from Supernatural, my first, oh, those look nice. Before you know it, I had 300. It's like-
I'm telling you, there's some lines where some people say, "Hey, I'm trying to get all the Star Wars," and I'm like, "Good luck."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's like
yeah.
him. Stranger Things is a tough task right now too. So I don't know. Like that's why I only buy one from everything that I like. When you start trying to be a completionist, it gets crazy.
So we've talked about Frankensons, a big collector's shop around. It's basically a Walmart that's Comic-Con on the inside.
Yeah.
It's like it's amazing. I have all the collectibles.
So fun.
And like I've always bought all my pops for like $12, $10, $15, maybe like $40 if it's one of the larger ones. But I keep hearing about some of the pops are collectible. So going to Frankensons, and they got pops that are like $900. And I'm like, what? And it's like these special. So just be careful, Chance. Just be careful because it becomes a lifestyle.
They're like Lay's potato chips. No one can eat just one.
It's right. You just keep going and going and going. All right.
I have my Good Omens set and my Parks and Rec set, and then I'd have no desire.
You know what? I have one Parks and Rec. I have my Ron Swanson.
We've got Aunt
But I
and
gotta-
April, and they were our wedding cake toppers.
That's awesome.
They were real cute.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. All right. Again, thanks a lot for that chance of supporting us on that level, dude. And just be careful of how many you end up getting, dude. All right. What's next?
All right, from Fanjecture, out of 93 films, only 5 have won Best Picture without getting a Best Director nomination. It's not possible, but not looking good for Dune. Or not impossible, excuse me.
Yeah. Not again. The last time it happened was, of course, with Ben Affleck not being nominated for Best Director, but
Argo.
Argo won. By the way, Ben Affleck not getting nominated for Best Director. It was the only award ceremony that Ben Affleck not only didn't get nominated for, it was the only award ceremony Ben Affleck didn't win. He won everything else. He won the Critics' Choice Best Director. He won Golden Globe Best Director. Most importantly, he won the Directors Guild of America, the DGA, for Best Director. The director said, "You're the best director of the year." And then he got nominated for the Academy Awards. And the big confusing thing about that to me is this. It's directors who set the nominees. Directors who are members of the DGA that voted him Best Director of the Year. That one I will never understand, but you're right. It's not looking too good for Dune there for Best Picture fan Jack.
Oh, I wanted to mention a movie that you guys talked about that I'm surprised hasn't been mentioned, or does it even deserve it? The French Dispatch. Bruno brought it up too. Was that anything that should have been?
You're right.
I love
in
French
anything?
Dispatch.
You know what? I didn't
I thought the colors looked crazy on it, like the.
It is Wes Anderson. Wes Anderson so hard. He's never Wes Anderson this much before. It's great. I have to rewatch it though because I also watched
it's
it.
no Grand Budapest Hotel. Come on.
And, I watched it on the WB lot with Henry Winkler, and like that really colors your experience.
Wait, you watched The French Dispatch with Fonzie?
He was there for a talk back for SAG, and it was magical. And he's the nicest man in the entire world. He has to be protected at all costs.
All right. Let me see if I got this up here again. Yeah, I do have it up here. Again. All right. What's next?
Andy, 3 of 5. He's somewhere in here. My birthday was Logan, March 2nd, 2017.
Oh, I remember Andy was talking about 5 films. Okay.
Oh, there we go. I've always felt a strong personal, emotional, and powerful connection to this incredible character, and
we'll have to wait again.
And
But
some other stuff.
We'll say about Logan. I have what I believe are the 3 best comic book movies of all time. And number 1 is Avengers. To me, Anne just rewatched that again the other day because she was doing it for one of her videos. But again, watching that, and she came to me after, she's like, I forgot how amazing that movie is. I'm like,
really
yeah,
is.
Everybody forgets how amazing that movie is. I think it's the greatest comic book movie ever made. But then also in the top 3, in no particular order, because I swap them back and forth sometimes, but filling out the top 3 are The Dark Knight and Logan. That's how good I think Logan is. Like, I just remember watching the first time I went in and watched that movie. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I couldn't believe I saw to me, it was like the fulfillment of the promise of what the comic book genre could be. It was just amazing for me. When you think about Logan, what do you think about?
I love the fact that they, coming off the rest of the X-Men franchise, that they were able to make a movie like Logan. That they took most of the fantasy context out of it and gave you the story of a Charles Xavier who was literally losing his marbles and a Wolverine who was dying. I thought that was amazing. And seeing the story that was being told was so not comic book. It felt so real and so visceral. And I was surprised at how much I was affected by it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's keep going. What's next?
All right, Matt Simmons. Top 5 performances. Denzel's Macbeth, Ariana DeBose and West Side Story. Stephen Graham, Boiling Point. Judi Dench, Belfast. Coleman's come so far from her guest appearance on The Office in 2001. Now she is in Goat Talk.
She is in Goat Talk. I mean, again, I'm not saying that Olivia Colman is on the Frances McDormand or the Meryl Streep level quite yet. But if you're going to have a conversation about it, Olivia Colman's name has to start being brought up. When you go 3 out of 4 years and win, and you can be in just about any kind of role, you got to start talking about it. Cool thing about her too, she never got her first Academy Award nomination until she was 44.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's knocking out 3 out of the last 4 years. Or maybe she was 45. Anyway, she was 44 or 45 when she got her first Academy Award nomination, and she is crushing it. So you're right, dude. You're right, Matt. She's totally
Have you ever seen a clip? I think it was on Graham Norton of Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep was saying, I want to say it was Leonardo DiCaprio calling her the goat, and she'd never heard that term before.
Oh, I've heard about that. I didn't see it myself, but I heard about that.
I think it was this, but it was Meryl Streep going, I just kept calling me the goat, and I had no idea what that meant.
What is goat? It's like, you're saying I'm old?
Yeah.
There are some adorable clips of Olivia Colman on Graham Norton too, where she doesn't even know which movie she's supposed to be promoting, and she'll just be like,
that's
I don't know why I'm here. They shouldn't send me. I'm
that's
really bad at
by
this.
far my favorite talk show.
Oh, it's so good.
I love that show.
He's fantastic.
And he gets everybody.
And he gets people
gets so
liquored up,
many
and he has
people.
them sitting together.
Like, if you watch a lot of talk shows, they'll have maybe, if they're lucky, one big person every 2 or 3 episodes. He'll have like 5 of the biggest stars in the world on every episode. Like, it's just kind of crazy.
He's by far my I don't know what I would ever do to get on that show, but that's a dream. That's like my own personal goals dream to make something being worthy of being on Graham Norton.
Graham Norton and being interviewed by Sean Evans. Those are, I think, the 2.
He started dating my ex-employee.
Graham Norton?
No,
Sean Evans?
Sean Evans.
Aw.
We are talking about the hot
Ones,
wings.
yeah.
He started dating Natasha.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So the long story is, I hired Natasha. She was great with us over at AMC and Collider. And then our parent company at Collider was Complex. So Complex poached her, which they should, because they saw how incredibly gifted and talented she is. And she went over to Complex. And of course, Hot Ones is a Complex thing, and so I guess her and Sean met, and they've been dating ever
Damn
since.
you,
That show's
Sean!
great though. Hot Ones is
It's
great.
great.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's
Yeah.
truly one of the best things YouTube has
And
produced.
he is great.
And
He's a wonderful
a
host.
nice guy.
He's
interview.
great.
You ever see him with Joe Coy?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, his stuff with Joe Coy is
Yeah,
really,
I
really
love that
good.
because they actually eat. They
Yeah.
eat. That's like all the ethics of eating. It's not hot wings. They just go around and eat dim sum.
And then he brought him to the Filipino place.
Yep,
That was
love
like
it.
really disgusting. Because even Joe Coy was like, yeah, no, I don't
He
want
has a
this.
secret power of eating so much, but yet being so thin.
Well, look at who's the world champion eater? What's his name again?
Joey
Matt
Chestnut.
Stoney?
Chestnut. What's he won that hot dog eating contest like how many years in a row? That dude's pretty skinny. All right, we got to keep going. We're running out of time. We got a lot to get through. Let's keep going. What's next?
All right, Josh Katz Curtis, can you please explain why Power of the Dog got so many noms? Genuinely don't get it. Was mediocre at best. Macbeth deserved a Best Picture nom.
Mediocre at best. This is the important thing to you. I wouldn't have nominated it for Best Picture. It might have squeaked into my number 10 or 11 or number 10 or number 9 spot, maybe. But yeah, I didn't like it nearly as much as a lot of the other people did. But it is a very artistic film.
Yeah.
It is filled with remarkable performances. And it just hit other people differently. Like the people who are in the Academy, the writers, the directors, the producers, the actors themselves, like they watched and they thought, this is some high level stuff. And again, I thought it was very good. I wouldn't have been there, but it hit them the right way.
Yeah.
And that's the key thing. Good question though, man. All right, what's next?
Damian Lundman, got my Batman tickets for the Regal in Long Beach.
Nice. Again, I'm so excited to hear how many people are getting their tickets for that, Damien. I hope you have a good time, man. All right, what's next?
Oh, we got the other half of Ryan's. Okay.
Oh, great.
I can't remember the
Here
last
it
time a
is.
movie soundtrack spawned that much success. Plus, with the Oscar nom, he could be the favorite to win.
Okay, we're talking again about
Encanto.
Encanto and what I almost said Louis Gossett Jr. Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, man.
Encanto by Louis Gossett
Catherine
Jr.
Zeta-Jones.
Cigar, do I look like a you boy? Oh, Louis Gossett Jr.
That
Anyway,
movie, by the way,
the
is
Officer and a
so
Gentleman?
good.
Oh, damn right, that movie's so good. A lot of people never watch that Officer and a Gentleman. That movie is so
It
freaking
is
awesome.
so good.
At any rate, we're talking about Lin-Manuel Miranda, not Louis Gossett Jr.
Sorry, I just can't. That was one of the great performances of all time.
It was. It won him an Academy Award for it. What he's been able to do, and this song, again, look, I don't think Encanto is one of the best animated movies I've seen in the last couple of years, but it's really good, and it's really charming, and the music is wonderful, and I'm glad for every bit of attention it's getting for it on that level. All right, what's next?
All right, more from Andy. Having a movie of him, having a movie of Logan
Yes.
released on my birthday weekend was a blessing enough, but to get an early screening on my birthday is immaculate to say the least.
Oh, there it
Yeah,
is.
at least. John, it would be as if you got to see an early screening of a Star Wars film on your birthday, which I found out is 3 days before mine.
Well, no, look, that is super special and awesome when that gets to happen. And again, I am so with you on the beauty, the depth, the power of that movie. Logan, it was the first comic book movie in history to be nominated for Best Screenplay, which was awesome. It was the first comic book movie, I mean, other than Heath Ledger's Joker thing, to get one of the major nominations. I really wholeheartedly, and it's not just because I'm a comic book movie fan, Logan should have been nominated for Best Picture. But it got the Best Screenplay nomination. I was happy about that. And it's a beautiful movie, and I'm glad you liked it that much, Andy. All right, what's next?
John Check, why didn't the Melons get married? Because they can't elope.
I was thinking, wait, who are the Melons? Oh, because they can't elope. Nah. No drum shot for you. No drum shot for you. All
No,
right.
that was
Guillaume LaBelle, finally gonna see Scream tonight. So hyped.
Listen, I'll tell you what. I had fun with Scream. I am not a fan of the Scream franchise, but this one was fun. I had a good time. Logically, it made zero sense whatsoever. Like no logical sense at all. Many contradictions in the movie. But at the end of the day, I had an experience that I had fun. I smiled. I giggled. I laughed. It was a good time. I had a good time, Matt. So I'm glad you're going to get a chance to see it. All right,
John
what's next?
Campea has fun watching teenagers get murdered. That's the headline.
That's the headline,
Oh,
right?
Take
wow.
it. Take it, internet.
And likes cats. All right, what's next?
Alex Von Gollum. Hello there, team. Do you think the writers, directors got inspiration for Paolo Gucci from Godfather's Frito? And there's a second part. There
There
it
it
is. Aside of the real life aspects, it seems to me that one is the spirit animal of the others.
I don't think so. What I think, it's not that I think one got inspiration from the other. I think it's they both got inspiration from real life. I like, a lot of people laugh and is saying, oh, you know, Jared Leto's, which by the way, Jared Leto did not get nominated for the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. He was in the running, but a lot of people say, Jared Leto's character is so fake and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're not Italian. I am. I've got 3 of those uncles. Let me rephrase. I got 2 of those great uncles and 1 of those uncles. Yeah, he is. That is how, that's not how all Italians are, but every Italian I know has got that uncle. At least one of those uncles are great uncles. They totally do. Listen, I had this great uncle, Romolo. Sergallo.
The names in your family are the best. I could, come on.
My grandfather came
Can you
over
keep
on the
them all
boat.
straight?
What's that?
Can you keep them all straight when you think about your family?
Yeah.
When you rattle them off?
Yeah.
Your mind?
So my grandfather came over and his brothers came too. So my grandfather Giovanni, who I'm named after, died last year. I miss you, no. So he came over with Giovanni. He came over with his brothers, Carlo, Sergallo, Vincenzo, and Romolo. And
I mean this with all great respect.
I know. Hey, listen, it's as stereotypical sounding as it gets. But and I look back when my dad shows me photos of the brothers coming over, it's like, and that's how the mafia came to North America, ladies and gentlemen. But because you look, my grandfather and his brothers, my great uncles and my grandfather, they were serious looking freaking dudes. But anyway, so they all came over, and one of them was a very eccentric dude, right? And he would, at family gatherings, he would always break out the accordion. Actually, a number of my great uncles would break out the accordions and play. My dad learned how to play the accordion, but one of them would play his nose. He would.
My Nona did this too.
Did she?
Yeah.
So one of my great, and I'm like, that is Jared Leto in Gucci.
Yep.
That was my uncle.
Yeah,
So-
we're all Northeastern, like Olive Garden Italians, so we're the type
Olive
that
Garden Italians.
that's one of my favorite Mike Birbiglia jokes. But we bring like deli meat to funerals where like someone rolls in the cooler and they're like, well, you can't get good mortadella in Dover. What the hell's wrong with all of you?
Wow.
Like, someone's dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
All right, let's keep moving on here.
I
What's
love
next?
this show.
Al Renshaw, if Lightyear is successful, over under 50%, we get a Pixar Woody movie being fast-tracked into development. Seems like a no-brainer.
I honestly don't think they will. I think this is a one-shot idea of theirs. It's possible we could see a Lightyear 2, but I don't think they'll try to do the same thing with any of the other characters. What do you
I
guys
agree.
think?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
I don't
agree.
think so. But I do hope this movie's awesome, though. And a sequel could be in the works. All right, what's next?
All right, Josh Pollard. Oh, this is the one I started at the very beginning.
Okay.
So Hush is a really great comic book. Hush is their all-time favorite comic and one of the best stories featuring an ensemble of rogues gallery villains out there. Hush is really, really
Hush is one. Look, whenever you bring up the great Batman story arcs, the Halloween, Hush, the one I always like to go to is No Man's Land.
so good.
I love No Man's Land. Obviously, then there's the Nightfall series, which is pretty iconic. When John Paul Valley first kind of comes to prominence, there's a lot of those. Any of those? Which
Well,
ones stand out to you the most?
Batman Year One.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Frank Miller and
Frank
David
Miller.
Mazzucchelli, and then of course the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
The Return of the Dark Knight. I really like. I'm thinking about all my Batman Absolute editions, like Court of Owls.
Do you got a favorite one?
Anything Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, I think, is wonderful. I think all of those are really great. Even the Catwoman spin-off of those, the Catwoman Win and Rome ones were
Yep.
really, really fun. The art's so beautiful.
All right, what's next?
All right, Cutter Hale. Oh, wait, sorry,
T-Bone.
T-Bone. Hi, gang. I thought The King's Man was okay, but its real contribution is FKA Twig's Measure of a Man. Total Bondish hit that played the credits. Check it out.
I'm not quite sure what it is at all that T-Bone is saying.
It's a
Same.
song.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Right. I don't remember it. I mean, listen, I'm
wanna
going to be
hear it
honest with you.
now.
I had kind of checked out of the movie.
Same.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I'm dying to see it though.
It was a real early screener for me, and I was so hyped because I love these movies. And then I just kept waiting for a Kingsman movie
See,
to
I
happen.
love me some Ray Fiennes, man.
Yeah.
Look, I contend he is the greatest actor in the world who does not have an Academy Award on his mantle. I stand by that. I think he's the greatest actor in the world that doesn't have an Oscar Oscar right
I mean,
now.
I could watch Strange Days and The English Patient on an endless loop simply because of Ralph Fiennes.
And his brother is great too.
Joseph. He was great in Shakespeare in Love.
So good in Shakespeare in Love.
so good.
The
I
most
was-
maligned Oscar winner ever.
And that movie's awesome. I don't care what anybody says.
it is
that and
awesome.
Crash. That and Crash are the most maligned Oscar winners ever. And I think both those movies are awesome.
David Cronenberg's Crash, of course, you're talking about,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. What's next?
All right. Cutter hail now. All of my closest IMAX theaters are completely sold out for the Batman on March
Not
1st.
surprised.
You snooze, you lose, buddy.
Looks like
Come
I'm
on.
waiting until the 3rd. This movie is going to be insane.
I mean, that is the good news for people who aren't able to get tickets to this, is that literally 48 hours later on the Thursday night, you'll be able to get your first screenings of the Batman. So then, John, if it's only 2 days, why are you? Because what can I say? I'm totally double talking here because I wanted to go on the Tuesday.
Yeah,
night.
and everyone's
But at
going to
least-
yell at us like,
Why'd you have to spoil it in the social media for us?
Well, we're not going to spoil. But look, it's every detail about this movie is going to be out as soon as the public sees it. But I don't care about spoilers for this movie. I'm going in there for the atmosphere of it, the actual things that happen in it. It's not knowing the ending of it; it's the story being told. And that's
I'm
what
just
excited
looking forward to that Joaquin Phoenix post-credit scene. I'm kidding. I am
You
kidding.
did not give anything
Okay,
away.
I'm kidding.
How
All right,
dare.
I made that up.
What's next?
Those tickets did sell out so fast too, because I just double checked when we first got here to be like, oh, I'll just grab 2 more just to have them.
Yeah.
And within like 5 seconds,
They're gone.
None of them were there anymore.
No,
I was like,
all
oh, there's
gone.
4 right here. Nope, no, there's not.
Your best bet would be
We're out.
like
They're
look
out.
for one. I think it's playing at like 8 theaters in San Diego. So find like the most obscure one in San Diego and check that, and
Logan,
maybe
have
you'll,
a really nice time in San Diego.
After this show, they're gone.
yeah, they're probably
They're
gone.
gone.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
Casey Mack, do you really think Don't Look Up deserved the nomination over Tick Tick Boom? Saw them
Nope.
both, and I thought Tick Tick Boom was the better movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, but that's what we were always talking. This is the whole baseline thing about all film is subjective. Would I have nominated Don't Look Up over Tick Tick Boom? Hell no, no. But a lot of people, a lot of filmmakers, and a lot of people in the movie making industry loved this movie. And I like Don't Look Up. I'm not disparaging Don't Look Up. I liked the movie. It should not have been nominated for Best Picture, and I definitely wouldn't have nominated over Tick Tick Boom. But I don't begrudge the fact that there are other people who feel differently. And it is what it
Also,
is.
I have to say, I mean, a lot more people saw Don't Look Up.
It was available for free on TV.
Yeah, and also a Tick Tick Boom. I've tried to get people to even watch it. Like you should, and they're like, I don't like music.
But that's the thing. Not everybody's a musical person, right?
I know.
I mean, it was also available for free on TV, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. All right, what's next?
All right, Harry Poppins. Oh, cute name. I've really been enjoying Mailbag, but we don't send in emails anymore to be on the show. Part
Oh, a second.
2. Since we send in the questions via the tip link, I think a more appropriate name would be JC Presents the Tip.
Well, yeah, see, the emails, those are for our main topics, right? So, like, all of our main topics come from you guys, right? Which you don't have to tip and you don't have to super chat. You don't have to financially support the show at all for that. All of our main topics, the first half of the show, all comes from the emails you guys send in, by filling out the form and going to that. Let me bring it up here again, just for anybody who's confused
Well, we could
about
call the show Just the Tip.
the junk.
Oh my God.
Just call the show.
Well, I
Just
got
the
nothing.
Tip.
I got nothing over there.
But by sending those in, that is coming into our mailbag. So I see what you're saying, but that's how we do those. Just the tip. God, now I might have to do that. I might have to fix the show. To just Ray is just getting worried about the thumbnail he is going to have to make for the new logo for the show. Just the tip.
Just the Tip.
I was
Only brought to
riffing
you
on
by
what our
Manscaped.
viewers said.
That's true.
Just
Absolutely.
riffing on what our viewers said.
All right,
That's it.
what's next?
All right. John Redcorn, can I sue Village Roadshow and Warner Brothers 2 for making a shit film in Matrix 4? Sorry, Rob. Lol.
Oh boy.
That movie was so bad.
No, it wasn't. What? No.
I mean,
Here's
look,
the
I'm
worst
glad you
thing
like
in
it.
the world.
I'm happy you saw some stuff in there that did it for you.
If you'd
wanted
seen
to.
it in the theater.
I did see it in the theater.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh.
I took Ann. Funny thing was, I took Ann to see it, and Ann had never seen the other Matrix films, so she was like totally lost.
What? Oh man.
Logan really liked it.
I
He
just,
had a
See,
fun
there's
time,
somebody else
So
liked
he,
it too.
he really liked it.
And listen, I believe if you look up
I'll be
audience,
getting that 4K steelbook, John.
I think it hovers around a 50%. All right, so that means I think half the people who saw it liked it, but yeah, I am not one of them, unfortunately. All right, what's next?
Brandon Blake. Have you seen the animated Long Halloween with your boy Jensen Ackles as Batman? It's pretty good.
It's
Jensen
pretty good.
Ackles has been doing DC voices. Actually, he was the voice of the Red Hood and
Yep.
under the Red Hood. So Jensen's been doing like the animated stuff for
And
a
then
long
he's
time.
them for Halloween, which is adorable.
But obviously, what I'm really looking forward to, Jensen, is a Soldier Boy in the upcoming The Boys.
How are they doing this though? Because that is a wildly different character from what we've seen being presented to us.
In
Like,
what?
are they in the boys' comics? Like, are they going full
Oh.
hero-gasm?
Well, see, here's the thing. This is one of the rare
don't know.
things where there is obviously a lot of differences between the comic and the show.
Oh yes.
And this is one of those rare situations where I think in every way the show is superior to the comic books.
1000%.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with
absolutely.
you.
And so whatever they're going to do with them and with Soldier Boy, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding that out. All right, what's next?
Alrighty. Nathan Barron, maybe you can educate me. How does Dune get 10 nominations, yet Villeneuve gets no nominations for director? Doesn't the director oversee the entire film?
Okay, this is a big misconception by a lot of people. So, for instance, Dune got one of the screenplays, right? Yeah. He had nothing to do with the screenplay being written. I mean, he can obviously have influence and all that kind of stuff, but he didn't write the screenplay.
No, he did. He has credit for the screenplay.
So he got nominated for that. But what I'm saying is the director, as the director, that's a different hat altogether.
Yeah.
See, to me, the most direct connection is the performances of the actors. So I remember one year, the director, what was it? It was the director of 3 Billboards outside of,
Epping,
Ewing,
Mississippi.
Missouri.
what's the name?
Is it Epping?
No, something Missouri.
Ewing?
What
What is it?
3
Billboard.
Missouri.
billboards outside, and I'm forgetting the name of the town.
Ebbing, Missouri.
Ebbing,
Ebbing.
Missouri.
That's what it was.
That got nominated for Best Picture. The three leads in the movie all got nominated for Best Performances. 2 of them won. But the director of the film did not get nominated for Best Director. They're responsible for the overall movie, got nominated for Best Picture. They're responsible for bringing out the best performances possible out of the actors. Frances McDormand gets nominated and wins. Moon Boy, why am I freezing on the actor from Moon?
What? Sam Rockwell?
Sam Rockwell
Rockwell.
gets nominated and wins.
He's great.
And why am I freezing on names today? The guy from Cheers.
Woody
Woody
Harrelson.
Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson also gets nominated. So the director, who is most responsible for the acting performances, 3 of them get nominated for best acting Oscars. 2 of them win. Nominated for Best Picture. I believe it won Best Picture. If I'm not, maybe it did, I can't remember if it won Best
you
Picture.
know-
I think so.
And the director didn't get nominated. But as far as all the other things, the director, yes, is the conductor of everything, but he's not necessarily playing the violin. And so to me, the ones I look at most are the picture overall and then the acting performances. And as such, I'm surprised but not stunned that he didn't get nominated for it.
But you know, also, look, I mean, when you cast a movie properly, as anybody will tell you, casting is most of the battle. And the actors that you bring into those roles, you have to conduct them. But I would say that a director does, in fact, work with actors the same way he works with a cinematographer, the same way. It's collaboration.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think but a director's singular vision has to encompass all of those things, in order, especially Dune, because the whole feel of that movie and the actors are all part of it. But because it's a big ensemble cast, it's like the 3 Billboards. Those people were front and center. They made the movie. But the thing about Dune is it's a true vision. It's a vision of a place.
Look at Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Of all the Academy Awards it won, in Return of the King, it won 11 Academy Awards. Not one acting nomination.
Right.
Not one. I think out of all 3 trilogies, I think there was only 1 acting nomination. That was for
That was Ian.
McKellen in the first one.
And
Everyone was
Peter
campaigning
Jackson
for Sean
finally won
Astin.
for the third one.
Yeah. People really
So,
thought
I
Sean
mean,
was going to get it.
it's not a direct correlation. It's not there are some that he has more influence on, like for costume design. James Gunn will sit in the room with the costume designer and communicate what it is they want, the vision, but it's the costume designer actually doing the designing.
Sure.
And actually doing the work. So just because just because they're working with the costume designer does not mean it's a shared Academy Award. The costume designer still wins that Academy Award. So yeah, again, I would be more shocked if this was a 3 billboard situation where 2 or 3 of the actors from Dune got nominated and the movie got nominated and he didn't get nominated for Best Director, then I'd be a little bit more shocked. But I don't really think this is a shocking thing.
Yeah, although I would say, the performances, the funny thing about Dune, though, is while Paul Atreides is an important character, I don't think that there's a way you're not going to get what Benedict Cumberbatch did in Power of the Dog. Because of the story, you'd never get Timothée Chalamet doing that same kind of work. Because the character of Paul Atreides is not called upon to do the same kind of things that Benedict Cumberbatch was called upon to do in Power of the Dog.
Right. See, I'm not necessarily saying that the lack of nominations is a what's the word I'm looking for? Not a conviction, but it is not a negative strike on the director.
Right.
What I'm saying is, if the actors do get those nominations, I believe, see, that to me, out of cinematography, costume design, everything else, that to me is the most direct line. That most living lifeline is between the director and the actors. And if actors get those nominations and the picture gets nominated for Best Picture, then to me it becomes kind of ridiculous that the director does not get a director nomination. Look, I get it. There are 10 spots for Best Picture nominations. That means every year, 5 movies nominated for Best Picture will not have their director nominated for Best Director.
I know.
Right? That's just math.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. I see it. It is what it is. Now, hold on a second. I just, unfortunately, Stream Elements is acting a little bit weird today, and I'm not getting... They are not coming up. We have lost our Stream Deck. Our Stream Elements here is acting weird. And give me a second here, because I got to make this work. Because we do not have companion videos now, and we have to get through all these. But right now, the questions have disappeared.
I think I have them up on mine again. It just might not be in the right order, y'all, so I'm very sorry about that.
Okay, so just try going from where you picked off. I'll keep trying to bring it up on mine.
Okay. So then, Russell Armador, 7 p.m. fans first, 3-1. If you know, you know.
Yeah, so that, of course, he's referring to everybody getting their tickets for Batman, which is awesome. March 1st. So excited. All right, what's next?
Matt Simmons, on my travels, bringing the John Campea Show with me the whole way. Aw,
Thank you.
us.
It is awesome. I love hearing, we hear from truck drivers and from people who travel a lot or work these weird night shift hours, always saying, to get through these drives or these long shifts, whatever, we listen to the John Campea Show. And that is awfully awesome to hear. So thank you for that, man. I appreciate that. All right.
Ben Rayner, new Lightyear trailer looks good. Looks like it's based on the astronaut Buzz and not an actor. I had it was based on the Space Command. Buzz is a famous astronaut.
Again, I am very, very curious to find out how they're going to work this in and how they're going to be explaining this is a real character and what's it based on. We got a little bit of the premise, but we have more to find out. Okay. Is Sam Fisher?
Sam Fisher, yeah. Great. I saw that The Rookie is getting an FBI spinoff via backdoor pilot starring Niecy Nash as the oldest FBI candidate. I don't know about you. I have zero interest.
Really? The Rookie is getting a spinoff? Listen, I like this show, The Rookie. It's got Nathan Fillion.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a really
You know
fun
who else
show.
it has, John?
Who?
It has Aaron Cummings.
That's right. Not
does
yet.
have Aaron Cummings.
But
coming.
this month, you're going to see our own Aaron Cummings is going to be on The Rookie. But really, a spinoff of it?
I like Niecy Nash.
By the way, can I throw out a Lightyear theory?
Sure.
I think Lightyear is it's the book that the young kid, what's the kid's in Toy Story? What's his name?
Andy?
I think Andy, it's the science fiction book he writes when he grows up.
Oh, shit.
But then
And I don't know.
But what
That's
first
genius.
made so the toy became before the story?
I think that, I don't know. I mean, because in his own mind, it has something to do with that. Because I was thinking, well, wait a minute.
Well,
Is the
Andy's creating copyright violations.
Is the Buzz Lightyear toy based on an astronaut? But it couldn't be, because the real world in Toy Story seems too primitive.
It's grounded.
It's still, but I think that Buzz Lightyear inspires, because maybe it was a toy line that, I don't know.
Ooh,
but I think
that's fun.
All right, we got to keep rolling here. We're running out of time. All right, what's next?
Lucky BX, things that make you I rewatched A New Hope this weekend, and it sounds like Obi-Wan says Annie was a good friend. Have you guys caught that?
Well, it can sound like that, but that is not what he said.
he says,
Annie, are you
and
okay?
a good friend.
Are you okay? Are
Not
you okay,
Annie, good friend.
All right, what's next?
Sam Automatic. I hope Book of Boba Fett ends with him giving Fennec to Mando. Was hoping for a romance between her. Maybe Din can give her what Boba couldn't. I.e. Pipe. You all.
Wow.
Why?
Yeah, whatever. Let's move
She's
on.
a strong,
What's next?
independent woman. She don't need no man. All right? I'm in. You know, I really thought they would announce the Oscars host this morning during the broadcast. We're still getting one this year,
I
right?
totally expected that they would.
I don't understand why they didn't.
I thought that would be no. They've made it clear they are going to have a host this year, and that is the right move. There's been some whispers about this person, that person. I still put my money on Tom Holland. Now, I mean, I'm not guaranteeing it's going to be Tom Holland. I don't know, but I think that's the front runner right now. What do you?
All three Spider-Man.
Are all three Spider-Man?
That'd be
Andrew
precious.
Garfield, Tobey Maguire.
Can you imagine if they did an opening dance number? Come on.
You got the Tobey Maguire.
I would love. I mean, yeah. And Tobey Maguire comes out, Spider-Man 3.
in his black.
You know,
black
I mean,
outfit.
it would. Come on.
I mean, Andrew Garfield could do his Tick Tick Boom song and
Because
dance.
you could add Kirsten Dunst could come out.
She's an Oscar nomination this
Emma
year?
Stone could come out. You know,
Oscar winner Emma
I
Stone.
mean, you could have J.K. Simmons come out.
Oscar
William
winner
Dafoe.
I mean,
J.K.
you
Simmons.
could do a Spider-Man opening number.
That would be for the ages.
Alfred Molina. I mean, just because you have all the Spider-Man movies.
I mean, that'd be cool.
Jamie
All right.
Foxx could
And
come
Gotta
out.
keep going here.
and
Gotta keep
rap.
going. What's next?
Radis Nerd. What's Power of the Dog even about?
You just got to watch it.
Sexual repression.
Yeah. It's a strong character study.
Yeah, I don't know that it's sexual repression.
It's about
I
a lot
don't-
of things.
I mean, yes, it's a lot. I don't know that I'd say it's about that.
It's not about that.
No.
But Benedict Cumberbatch's character is a little repressed.
There's a lot going on with Benedict's character. All right, what's
William
next?
Alexander. So happy Robin Armand Netflix got nom. So good. Not seen it? Watch it. Led by talented young Bronte Carmichael, backed by wacky Richard E. Grant and villain Gillian Anderson. Chance it wins?
I have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Richard E. Grant and Gillian Anderson, what have I not seen?
So happy, Robin, Aardman, Netflix. I
Oh,
don't
is
know-
that Aardman Animation?
Oh, is that what
that
it
must be a
is?
short. That must be an Aardman Animation
Oh,
short. I have not
maybe.
seen
Okay.
this.
Oh, okay. I haven't even looked at the short animated
Yeah.
short
Aardman
and stuff like
Animation
that,
is
nominations.
the people that do Wallace and Gromit.
Yes, I know that. I'm like, what? Netflix,
Okay.
So it's a short film.
I did not know that.
Okay, well-
animated short. I got to watch that.
That would make
I don't
sense because
know.
I didn't even look at what the animated short nominees were because I probably haven't seen any of them. But that is interesting, William. Thank you for bringing that up. Appreciate that because we certainly overlooked that. So thanks for that, man. All right, what's next?
Caleb Lawrence. Where are all the Razzies for Thunder Force?
All I can assume is that nobody at the Razzies watched it. That they saw the John Campea Show, heard us talk about you got to avoid this one. But the fact that Thunder Force did not get a Razzie is an outrage. All right, what's next?
All right. Empire Fan 1980. I watched Dunkirk for the first time.
Nice.
45 minutes in, I turned it off because I found it boring and dull.
Oh, dude.
Maybe it was just me.
Listen, every movie hits all of us in different ways. And certain movies hit us in certain ways with our own unique sensibilities. So some people are going to watch a certain movie and it's just, there's going to be a complete disconnect while others are going to be completely enthralled with that. And unfortunately, Dunkirk didn't work for you. I was enthralled with that movie. I was hooked
too.
on it from frame one. I thought it was intense. And when a movie allows you to put yourselves in somebody else's shoes in their circumstances and you can feel the types of emotions they may be feeling.
Agreed.
To me, that's special and I loved it. But hey, man, it didn't work for you. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm sorry you didn't like it as much as we did. All right. But thanks for sharing your experience with it, Empire. All right. What's next?
John Check. Ray was snubbed for Best Bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If they can give Bruce Willis his own category at the Razzies, they should be able to give Ray Orr his own
Yeah.
best bro.
It better be a real raspberry too, because I'll eat that shit.
All right. What's next?
From Sin Vendetta, Rob, I'm really excited for you to watch The Office, and it's the perfect opportunity for me to rewatch the series with you and hear your thoughts.
You know, I've got a lot of people who wrote to me and say, now this gives me an excuse to go back and rewatch The Office.
Wow.
I am so, for those of you who know what we're talking about, Rob and I are starting a podcast that's going to be, I'll let you know where to find it when we start. But we are starting a podcast called The Office Virgin because Rob has never seen The Office. And so we're going to go through it. Now, we're going to have to muscle through the first 6-episode season because The Office really doesn't really find itself until the beginning of season
See,
2. But
really, shouldn't we go back to the British version and watch all of that?
I'll tell you what, in the first year and a half, I was like everybody else. The cool thing was to be, oh, the British version is better. And I agreed. After season 2 was done, we got into season 3. I'm like, nope, the North American version is better. And I know that's almost sacrilege to say, but the North American version became better. Now, Ricky Gervais was behind both versions.
Right, sure.
So, I mean, it's so he learned from one and improved upon it in his second outing. But I cannot wait for you to see it. All right, what's next?
All right, Tim Platt, picture it. The Academy Award winning Coming to America. What a world, lol.
What did it get nominated for? It probably got nominated for one of the smaller categories that we didn't go over.
Maybe the original Coming to America
I think it's the second one, Coming to America. Unless, yeah, I think that's the title of the second one, I believe. Ray, can you look up to see what Coming to America?
Would it be an acting
Coming
award?
to America 2 got nominated. It wasn't for any of the big awards. I'm not. Oh, everybody's saying
Hair
it's
and
makeup.
Oh,
I can. You know
yeah,
what?
I could see that.
I could see that.
Yep.
I can totally see that. It's kind of like when Suicide
Baker-
Squad won an Academy Award.
Rick Baker did the makeup for Coming to America 1, so Academy Award winner.
Well, I mean,
there.
the makeup did look great. So, yeah, all right. All right, okay, what's next?
John Redcorn, if Lightyear goes to Disney Plus, I feel that's going to be the last straw for a lot of people at Pixar. Don't F this up, Chapek. It looks great.
Yeah, I cannot look. We talked about this the other day. I cannot imagine Disney making the move of putting Lightyear straight to Disney Plus. You're right. I think they would have a revolt on their hands over there, and I don't think they're going to do that. So you're right about that, John. All right, what's next?
Superhero movies are the best. Hi, John and Robert. Sheer performances among them. Who do you consider the greatest of all time? Day-Lewis?
Stop right
Bruce?
there. It's Daniel Day-Lewis. There's nothing else to talk about. It's Daniel Day. Anyway, do continue. What else did you
Lewis,
write?
Cruz, Will Smith, DiCaprio, Ackman, Denzel, Samuel Del Toro, Pease. How good was Banderas in Assassins?
Well,
He was pretty good.
that was kind of out of nowhere.
Written by the Wachowskis.
I mean, in sheer performances, it's Daniel Day-Lewis. He is. Look, we're talking about John. In as much as John Williams is the GOAT when it comes to film composers, that's Daniel Day-Lewis in acting. He is by far head and shoulders above everyone and everybody. His Oscar to performance ratio will never be touched. Like it's like he would only do like one film every number of years, and then it was almost like clockwork. Well, he's going to get nominated for Best Actor, and I personally believe, now this is up for debate, obviously, but I personally believe Daniel Day-Lewis's performance in There Will Be Blood is the single greatest performance I've ever seen anybody give in any movie ever. It's not my all-time favorite movie, but it is. I've never seen a
Shatner in
performance.
Trek 2: The Wrath of Khan. Come on, bro. He's Canadian.
What was it? The end of? Was it the end of 2? Yeah, it was the end of 2 when he says, "Of all the souls I've encountered in my travels, his was the most human."
Come on, dude. That was the first time I ever cried in a movie.
I can see that.
At
If you're
that
a big
moment,
Star
when he
Trek guy, I
stumbled
get
over,
that.
his words, I cried.
The most.
By the way,
Human.
Shatner's gonna be 91 next month.
I know. Still going. Still going. Not
Still
quite
waiting
as,
for his Oscar though.
Not quite as active as John Williams, but he's still going. All right, what's next?
Andy, with the announcement of the Oscar nominations, somewhere out there's a Paul Feig who couldn't give a damn when there's a Kids' Choice Award.
That's what I'm saying. You keep your Oscars. I got this Kids'
Kids'
Choice
Choice
Award.
Award.
You know, we're never letting that go. And I say that as a Paul Feig fan. I think the dude's great. I really do. I love him. So in all fun and in all love, I'm never going to let that go. That whole quantum, hey, our movie won a Kids' Choice Award talk. Really, Paul? Really? Did you have to go there? All right, what's next?
Anime 38. What's your thoughts on them redoing the finale of Book of Boba Fett and possible extra episode? And Han will show up in the finale. And before you say that's not that we got this covered, LOL.
Sorry, okay, what's your thoughts on them redoing the finale? Well, how can they redo it? We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Redoing the finale of Book of Boba Fett and a possible extra episode. And Han will show up in the finale. Well, we've talked about that possibility before. I don't know if this is a report going around or anything like that, but we did a number of weeks ago. We talked about when we were looking at the calendar, we speculated about whether there could be a secret 8th episode. Now, I have not heard that there is. We have speculated about it. We think there's a chance of it, a 5% chance. So I wouldn't be surprised. Han showing up, we talked about that too. It's a possibility. I don't know what you mean by redoing the finale, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they're saying it meant reshoots,
Re-edits.
something like that.
kind of standard I guess not really.
The Filoni cut. I don't know.
Well, you
Oh,
need Tobey
Release the
Maguire,
Filoni
Andrew
cut.
Garfield, and Tom Holland show up to fight the battle with
that
Boba
would be
Fett.
funny. There we
It
go.
is a multiverse after all.
But again, listen, I would love it if they said there's another episode because again, last episode felt like now the show has just finally been set up. Now the show's ready to really
I
start.
mean, who's to say that they couldn't? They couldn't
no
just
one's
do.
saying that they can't
They
do
might
it.
do 4 or 5. Who knows?
No.
Why not?
When does Moon Knight start?
Moon Knight starts March 30th.
Hey, we got a while.
Yeah, just keep it going.
We
Till
still
then.
got a number of weeks. Keep it going. All right, what's next?
Cody Hunt. A small part of me wishes Mahershala Ali got nominated for Best Actor in Swan Song. He's so great in that film. He's only been
He
better
is.
in Moonlight.
Is this the one where he played himself twice?
Yes.
He's a clone.
I want to see that.
Man, that's the thing. He did. I can't remember. He didn't win them in back-to-back years, did he? Did Mahershala win his Academy Awards back? He won it for The Green Book, and he won it for Moonlight. I can't remember if that was back-to-back. Because Christoph Waltz, I also can't remember if that was back-to-back. So Christoph Waltz comes out, wins Best Supporting Actor, and then wins Best Supporting Actor again. Then Mahershala Ali comes out and wins Best Supporting Actor and Best Supporting Actor again. So I'm not surprised he didn't get nominated for this one, but he was great.
It wasn't back to back. It was 2017 and then 2019.
Okay, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Yeah, so anyway, but he is, cannot wait to see him as Blade. Cannot wait to see him as Blade. All right, what's next?
Bat Talk. Hey, John and crew. It's showing on Wikipedia that the Batman's budget is $100 million. How much would it need to make? How much would it need to make to be a huge success?
Well, you're playing with the term huge, so I don't know what it depends.
Only
on what you
100
define as
million?
huge. I heard it was a
Apparently.
lower budget. Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't have a lot of
Lights.
green screen and effects.
They didn't spend any money on lights.
There's
All
no
right,
lights.
it's bedtime. It's bedtime, folks.
That
Gotham gets no sun.
that's perfect.
No lights.
Wow. No, I was going to say they
That's
shot
joke
on
of the
actual
day, right? Good
locations.
job.
Just looking. No lights.
So, okay, look, again, the basic math of trying to figure out when a film is profitable is simply this. You take the production budget plus marketing budget, and that basically is your expense. So let's say, for argument's sake, the movie costs $100 million to make, and let's say, for argument's sake, they spent $30 million on marketing it. Okay, so that's your expense. Now you take your box office minus 30%, which roughly works, because remember, the theaters have to give back X amount of the box office depending on the weekend. Opening weekend, they give away a bigger chunk of it. As the weeks progress, they give away smaller and smaller. Roughly working, when I worked at AMC, they told me that roughly worked out to about 33%. There's words going around that's 50%. Don't listen to anybody saying that. So AMC told me it was roughly, when it's all said and done, once you accumulate it all together, it's roughly about 1/3. So if we're saying that the expense of it is going to be 130, then they need to make, so 210 minus, they need to make about 200 million. If you're going to minus 1/3 away from it, because if they made 210, you took away a third, that'd be 140. So anywhere between 200 million, 210 to break even and maybe be profitable. To be a huge success, 400 or 500 million, maybe 6. I don't know. What would you?
That's easy. That's easy for Batman.
I think it can.
Well, I
do
would
that,
say
no
on a $100
problem.
million budget, they'd actually need, because they also have to include studio overhead in that, and there's a lot of other
Well, wouldn't
expenses.
that would be kind of counted in what the overall production budget of the movie would be? Wouldn't
Well,
it not?
not necessarily, because in terms of writing off, there's the actual production budget of the film, there's marketing, and then there is studio costs, which aren't part of the actual
I thought that was
production
included
budget,
in.
because that's not on.
Well, but basically, that's just a basic rundown of it. But
Yeah.
what number do you think it would have to make for it to qualify as a quote unquote huge hit?
Oh, I think, like you said, 600 on $100 million spend,
Yeah.
600 million.
600 million. See, I'm going to say 5. I think they'll consider a big thing, but right around there. I think that's pretty safe to say.
I
All
don't
right.
believe it. I believe it costs more than 100 million.
Well,
hard
we'll
for me.
see when we'll see it. Because
Yeah.
honestly, now that I think about it, when you look at the trailers, it's like, I see $100 million there.
Yeah, I mean
But we'll have to see what they do.
yeah.
All right, what's next?
Ismail Montoya, March 1st, game day.
Game day!
I got 2 tickets.
Oh my goodness. Good for you, man.
All
That's
right.
awesome. All right. And
Andy, they got themselves 6 Batman tickets for $28 each. Worth it? All right. Harvey K. Happy K. Stu got in along with Jessie Buckley for actress. Been a fan since Wild Rose and Chernobyl. And
Oh,
also
wow.
happy for Coda and Flea's unique triple nom.
Again, I am fascinated by this Flea story because I know, like, I'm going to tell you right now, I know nothing about Flea. This is not something I really pay attention to a lot, whatever. Like, but the fact that an animated documentary now, I'm thinking, and yeah, Kristen Stewart, I should have stuck with it. I should have stuck with it when I said all those months ago that she's going to get nominated for Best Actress. I backed off it, but she got it. Congratulations to her. All right, what's next?
Calvin Patel was going to buy the IMAX tickets, but my theater does not have good seats like the Dolby chairs, so I skipped out. We'll get Dolby on the 3rd.
Hey, listen, don't knock what Calvin's saying here.
Yeah.
Like, if you got to take into consider the overall experience of going to the movie. And I'll tell you what, those AMC Prime Dolby theaters seats, they spoil you, man.
Are we seeing it in the theater that we saw Moonfall in, or we're going to the actual IMAX?
We're going into the actual IMAX screen. This is an IMAX event.
Right.
So I believe it's an IMAX event. So we're going to be in the, and thankfully the AMC theater there has very nice. They don't have the leather motorized recliners like they
Right.
do in the
That's
thing, but they
okay.
do have very, very nice seats in there. Very nice indeed. All right, what's next?
Casey Mack. This might be the second time I've seen a Batman film this early. Saw Batman versus Superman, I think like a week early before it came out.
Yeah, I got invited to a special fan screening that happened even before the press screening happened. And it was a fan screening. I got to go to it and stuff like that. I remember I saw it at the AMC Burbank 16. That's always fun. That's always fun. I'm glad you're getting to do that, Casey. All right, what's next?
Elizabeth Dorado. Really happy with today's nominees. Love that Troy Kotsur from Coda got nominated, me too, as well as the film for Best Picture. My snubs were Denis not getting a Best Director nom, nor Jamie and Katrina nom.
Yeah.
for Belfast.
Katrina, that's one that it surprised me too. Denis is one that is a bit of a surprise. Again, not completely shocked, but a surprise.
Yeah.
But listen, this is the thing. Every year the Oscar nominations come out. What everybody focuses on are those one or two big snubs. Let's look at all the amazing things they got. Like, honestly, for the most part, I think they got 90% of it right. I really do. I think they feel like they got around 90% of it right. And so many great films, so many great performances, so much great art that got made. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. And by the way, big thank you to Brian Surway and the man with the master plan who both send in super chat badges just to be supportive. Thank you for that, guys. And guys, that'll do it. Whew, we had a lot to get. This is a long show today, man.
Wow,
it was a long show.
a
But
good
that'll
one.
do
It
it
was a long show.
for today's installment of the John Campea Show. Thank you so much for being here and making this show part of your day. Big special thank you to all you guys who sent in those super chats. Number one, because you gave us great fun things to talk about. And number two, you supported our channel as you did it. And all of us involved with the John Campea Show. Thank you guys so much for your support. I want to thank, on behalf of Robert Meyer Burnett, Ray Ora, Chris Carr, my name's John Campea. Guys, thanks so much for being here. My name's John, and until next time, my friends, bye-bye.